I used to smoke, but for whatever reason, like I can, like if I'm by myself or like with really in a chill situation where I'm not having to like think too hard or anything. And at this point in night, and we're doing this and we're talking about some shit, I gotta think. Like, yeah, no, I don't know what it is, but like in high intense social situations or things like that, my body will just like zone out and I'll pass out. Like I black out. And the last time it happened, black out. Like
when you drink it, shit.
like well no, like pass out and like stop breathing and shit. And the last time it happened, I was at a mansion party with my boyfriend, and I had one drink the whole night because the bar was insane. Like there's so many people. It was only one bar, and I had maybe 2 or 3 hits of this guy's hybrid, and it wasn't anything super strong. It really wasn't. And I've tried all kinds of different weed, and nothing's ever had an issue with me. And it's not the first time it happened either, but at this party, it was the last time it happened. It's like everybody was like, okay, we're leaving, cops are here, you know, shut down the party and all that. And then we like knew people that like were owners of the house or whatever, and my boyfriend was like, okay, we're staying. No, we're going. Okay, we're staying. And I was like, okay, I gotta sit down because like this is a lot right now. Like stressing me out. And then we go down this hallway, and this mansion has like bare walls, so all the sound is echoing. There's kind of chaos going on. And then all of a sudden I started getting tunnel vision, and it had happened before, so I knew I was gonna go down. And so I was like, babe, and he like wasn't paying attention, and just out. And then that time, like I'm still conscious of like, okay, I'm out. It's weird. It's like you go into this like dream space where it's just black, and you're aware that like your body isn't responding to you. But yeah, and then so he thought I shit myself, but I guess what happened, dude, is I farted. I straight up farted because your body loses all like function, dude. Like it's just like it's like if you die, like your body just releases itself. And so I farted, and then I was shaking like I was gonna go into a seizure, and he couldn't get me out of it for like a good minute or so or longer. And everybody like freaked out on him. They're like, what did you give her? And he's like, dude, chill, this is my girlfriend. Like we call it my party trick, because for whatever reason it just out of nowhere, I'll be having a good time, everything's fine, and then I'm out.
It sounds like it's like a what is it, like blood sugar? I think it's like when your blood pressure raises or lowers.
Yeah, and then I wondered about that too, but then I would start trying different things, because like I said, it hasn't happened once. It's been like 5 times, and every time it's in a high intense social situation, and if I drink, I'm fine. If I just smoke, I'm kind of okay, but I still get like the feeling. So I'm like, I just can't. And it sucks because I love weed.
It's weird because I've heard a few other women say that. So it might be something that like your guys are, the way your body is processing it, maybe. Or you might be like, allergic to something. Like,
I don't know, because I went and got tested. Like I had an EKG, MRI, like I got tested for allergies, I had my blood work done. Everything came back normal except my vitamin D, but that's just I take vitamin. I know. God damn it.
That COVID, yo. That COVID.
I'm too busy, you know.
Yeah, you need to jump in the sun. I'll kind of just do a little intro, and then we could just officially.
Call me what you want, open invitation. I'm a human being infused with creative vibration, utilizing melodies and visual stimulation. Beats and stories get the glory, you get the relation. I get impatient like a doctor racing. Bullets coming from my soul, my body just a casing.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Paralyzed Artist Podcast. My name is Daniel Brian Alvarez, and today I have one of the OG homies from the photography scene that I've known for a cool ass minute, but it's the first time we officially kick it in a way.
It's about time, shit.
Welcome, Nana Starfield.
Oh, you fucked up my name.
What do you mean?
It's Nana
Starfield.
No, it's okay. I'm not gonna
I said the ghetto version.
No.
Nana, like,
because when people say Nana, it's too close to grandma.
That's what I was thinking in my head.
But it is usually how I introduce myself to people. I'll be like, "Hi, Nana," like a grandma, but no.
Like a grandma.
It's like my little cheesy line. I don't know if I can know. It
And
helps
that-
people remember.
That's your like actual name, like
Nana?
Well, the whole Nana.
No. Nana
Starfield?
Starfield? No.
That's like
That's like my alias. It's what I go by. Everybody knows me. Like all my friends and stuff call me Nana. And the only people that really call me by my real name, my legal name, which is Brianna, by the way, or Brianna, however you want to pronounce my name, as long as there's two N's, is usually like my family. They're the only ones that say that, or my boyfriend, and it's usually like when they're mad at me too. They're like, Brianna, and I'm like, fuck, oh shit. Like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So like when other people use it, it's like you feel like you're in trouble and shit.
yeah. Otherwise, they just use my like family nicknames or whatever, which I have a lot. So
it's the same. Like my name's Daniel, but I just introduce myself as Danny most of the time. So when someone says Daniel, I'm like, what did I do? What the hell?
I'm in trouble. Please don't throw a chocolate at me.
So I know you from the photography scene. So we can start from there.
Yeah.
How did you get into the whole photography and modeling scene?
God, that's a really good question. Do you want to go like back, or do we want to talk about like how I started going to meets?
We could do a little bit of both. Like
Yeah.
Like how you started. So you were shooting even before you found like the meets?
Yeah. So I started young, and it was mainly like a point and shoot camera. See, I'm a old school emo girl, like scene queen kind of chick.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really into like the rock alternative thing, and at the time, that's like when, for me growing up, because I'm young.
Oh, you called me old?
No. I mean,
do you know how old
I didn't say it, you did. Shit. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I was into that, and that's when like Instagram was becoming a thing, and Facebook was really like big. Like it transitioned from MySpace and all that, right? So that's when all the kids were like doing the point and shoots and like, I'm so emo. So I started off doing that, and at the time I had like no friends. Like this is in middle school and stuff because I was like bullied a lot. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm just gonna do me. So I started playing around with like running back and forth between the camera, doing the timer thing, like getting my angles and just playing around with it. And that was kind of like my escape. And so I started doing a lot of self-portraits and just posting them selfies, cliche shit. And then as time went on, I found friends that I don't know, I just found people, that I did connect with. And a lot of them were creatives, and a lot of them were photographers and things like that. So started shooting with them. I did like some small clothing brands back in the day for like Etsy shops, and started modeling their wear and all that. And then from there, I actually had a girlfriend who was like, I guess she went to like some modeling school or something, and ended up like starting to do more modeling out here. And then I started hanging out with her. She's kind of like part of my girlfriend group at the time, and she started posting like a few meets that she would go to and like how she was like meeting people. And so I didn't ever go with her, but one day I was like just graduated or whatever, and I was like, I have nothing better to do, I'm bored, so I'm gonna fucking make the trip out to LA because I grew up out here and I know the area. And I just showed up to one. It was my first meet was the Necro meet back when Justin and Brittany were like setting it up, I think it was like they had just started. So I showed up and I wore a wig. I wore this terrible fucking blonde wig, dude. I was poor, I was cheap, so I just bought something off of Amazon or whatever, and then I had my normal whatever like punk clothes I had at the time, and I just kind of came, and I had sclera contacts because I kind of was like, I don't really want anybody to like know me like who I am, but I don't know, it was just like a huge hit with all the photographers. That's how I ended up networking, and I just kept coming because I had the fucking time and nothing better to do. So, and that's how I got into the meets.
So like you actually started like young, like you were
yeah,
you were always like into like creative stuff though, like as a kid growing up.
Yeah, I mean everything. It was music, like I was into dance. I wanted to do dance classes. I still do. And now that I'm out here, there's a lot more options, so we'll see what I get into. But yeah, and then I like in school I did drama class and I did photography class. And so I have some, that's what's cool about it too, is when you have more knowledge of what's going on behind the camera and like lighting and stuff, you do better in front of the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and of course, me getting comfortable in front of the camera was like when I first started, because I was getting my angles and I was like, okay, I know what looks good and how to just be yourself, you know? So I did photography, I did ceramics, I was all computer class, like video editing, like I did all kinds of stuff. So
nice. So you found like a creative outlet early.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like that's one of the things, like I'm into a lot of creative things now, but like I didn't have any, like, you know, like I was just like in the streets, like, you know, like not, I didn't really like have any creative outlets in that way. And now, like, looking back, I'm like, man, I wish I would, you know, I would have been a little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
So, and you could tell we actually just came, we had a shoot today at a studio. And it's like, yeah, like some of the stuff, even when you weren't really posing, I'll get like pictures of you and it's just like natural. Like you could tell you're comfortable. And because we were talking about that a little bit, how like if you get in like in an uncomfortable situation, sometimes you can see it in your face and all that. Nah, you were just like killing it.
Well, and I think I think that's something that a lot of photographers that I work with appreciate too, and I take direction really well. And so like if they're like, oh, chin up, I'm like, okay, it's probably about like this much because the light or whatever's casting a shadow. Or so it's I there's tons of people that ask me like, how did you get into it and what are some tips, you know, that you would, and I'm always like, shoot yourself. Like that's the best way to learn what looks good on you, you know, and just play with it, have fun. At the end of the day, like that's what's the best part of it, is it's not just the creating part, it's letting yourself show through, you know.
And you're practicing like what you might not consider as like, but like getting your angles right and knowing like, you know, what looks good where and stuff. That goes a long way for sure. Because you'll notice that when, if you work with someone that isn't as experienced and you have to kind of like guide them a little more, you'll notice that like they don't, sometimes they're like, what do I do now, you know? Hey, you know how like you were just like, let's go. That's
what's cool about it too. It's like I like candid photos a lot. Like there's so many photos. I always tell people, they're always like, what are your favorites? And I'm like, the ones where I look stupid, like the ones where I'm like really being a goofball and I'm like, this is me, you know. Like there's so many photos of me like that where I'm like half eye open and I'm like, that's my favorite. Like it's fun.
If people know you, like they know that and know that that's you, like you in the picture, it's like you're just being you, you know. That's just like who you are. So for that, that's one of the things that I feel like it translates in photos, you know. Just it goes back to like the comfort thing, you know. You're good, you don't
it helps when you're comfortable with yourself too, a little bit. So I think a lot of people starting off are insecure about like their bodies or like how it's gonna come out on the camera, but like you said, like when you're in your head like that, it shows through in your body language. And it's just like, just move around, you know, do some jumping jacks, whatever, and just have fun. Drink a beer, fuck it, like do what you gotta.
No, for sure. Just gotta get loose. That's how it is in comedy. Like if you start thinking about it too much, you get in your head, you start like fucking up and just going out of like, so like I always try to keep that, like, just be loose, bro. Like don't think about it too much. Just fucking go with the flow. Speaking about on creative stuff, like I know you do music as well. So like is that you were just like into a lot of creative things, or you just like, is there a specific reason why you started doing music as well?
So I grew up doing music, or not creating music, but like singing and being surrounded by music. So I mean, there's so many people that it's so cliche to say it, but like growing up, like you can ask my mom, dude. Like we lived in this condo one time and I was young and I would be like jumping around and jumping off her bed and singing to like Lady Gaga and fucking whatever was on Disney Channel or whatever, and like just performing and being in my own brain and my like dream. And it still is a dream, but it's just like, okay, I gotta be realistic, you know, as an adult, you know. But my dream was just like, oh, I just want to sing. Like it's part of who I am. It's in my soul. And like whenever I'm down, like that's the first thing I do is like I start writing or I start singing about whatever. It doesn't even have to be full on words, it's just melodies and stuff. And it's like it's me. I don't know. Like it's so weird. So yeah, that's why like I'm working on an EP and I can't wait for it to come out. But yeah, that's why I like wanted to do it, because I was like, you know what, I want to like start putting shit out there and just be able to, when I'm talking to people or when I meet people, because I know so many people that are doing music or like in the industry, and I want to be able to tell them like, yeah, this is what I put out and like check it out, you know. And that's the best way to network too, is like just show people what you have and work from there, you know. Not everybody's gonna like your shit, but as long as you're happy with it, you know what I mean? That's what matters. So, and people will always like gravitate towards you too. Like there's so many people, you can't just like say, nobody likes my stuff. Like somebody out there is gonna like it.
No, you're good too. Like there's a lot of people that want to sing, but they can't sing.
Thank
you
you.
actually sound, good. And it's like, it's cool. It works,
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Do you feel like doing one thing helps with the other? Like, do you feel like because you were like doing like the photography thing early, like it helped out in as far as like that creative aspect though?
Well, you know what? So as far as music goes, so for a long time I sang in the church. I grew up a Christian. I grew up a Christian. And this is like stemming from Baptist Christianism. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. And so I grew up singing in the church, and my mom always pushed me to be on stage and be up front in people. And so I had a lot of solos. I worked within a band and a team, and I did harmonies, all these kinds of things. So just growing up in that taught me a lot. I've never had any like actual training. People ask me that a lot, and I'm like, no, I just grew up in a family full of vocalists and musicians. So but I asked, you always want like approval from your parents and stuff. And growing up, I asked my mom, and I would tell her, like, I want to be a star someday. I want to be able to speak to people on like level and create music that I love. And do you think I would ask her, I was like, do you think someday I could do it? Like if I were to take like lessons and go to school for music? And she would always kind of like, and this isn't to shit on my mom, I think she was just being realistic, and trying to think of like me being successful financially and being able to be stable, because music industry is hard, and especially today, it's like there's so much, but she was like, maybe, but like I don't know, you're like you're still learning and like this and that, and you're still, so it kind of like in a way put me down, and I self-doubted a lot, and I would be like, people would be like, you should go on American Idol and this and that, and then I would like go to the website and think about it, but then I would be like, nah, who am I fucking kidding, like I'm fucking shit. And then I met my current boyfriend, and we were at his apartment like when we first started dating, and we were fucking around on the computer, and he was doing like freestyling and stuff. And then like I started singing for him. And at one point I like turned to him, and he was just like, and I was like, what did I do? Like, he was like, I didn't know, like you told me you could sing, but I didn't know you could sing like that.
Yeah.
And he really like inspired me and like helped me get that confidence, and was like pushing for that, for me to do that kind of stuff. And so little by little I started doing more and more, and I put out things here and there, and I'm not perfect, obviously, like there's always learning to do, no matter how good you are. But yeah, and then I don't know, I ended up on some friend's track. They like, I had them hear a song, and that's how like my first time I was in a recording studio, I was like so nervous. I was like, what the hell?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've been in front of a mic before, so I was comfortable, and I didn't have a problem. But I took like 2 takes, and the engineer was like, who are you? And I was like, please don't say that. Like, you're making me really nervous now, because I feel like there's an expectation, and I'm like not there yet, or I don't know. So, and that's all that they needed. And then the other guys hopped on the track. And then after that recording studio session, I was like, holy shit, like I've never felt this way. Like, it was so like creatively orgasmic in a way, you know what I mean? It was just like, damn, I want fucking more. I want to, and it's not even for like the recognition part. It's just like, I fucking love this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was thinking while you were saying like that you were thinking about like signing up for American Idol. You know that option is still open, right? They're still doing all those.
You know what? I thought about going on The Voice.
On The Voice, all those
And,
like America's Got Talent, like that
but the
door
thing
is totally
like,
open.
I don't know how that would work. Well,
as far as what?
No see, and I'm not that good. I mean, I'm not that good. Trust me, because there's some singers on The Voice that I'm like, there's no fucking way I would even make it. I mean, I'm sure I would get some exposure, but if I even make it past like the first initial auditions, you know what I mean? And I don't know.
Have you seen some dude? They let some fucking.
I mean, I could probably pass on the American Idol. I don't know.
Yeah,
America's Got Talent, maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, because like you, especially since you found it young, dude, like that's all practice. You've been practicing. You've been like, you know, getting your voice right. Because like I was a shy like person overall. Like I didn't like to put myself out there. Like I had never like my dad has been into music for a long time and he'll like karaoke all the time, and I had never up until like right before I just started doing stand up, because I had it in my head like, all right, I want to do stand up. I know I need to get comfortable on a microphone. Yeah. And then Pops is out here doing karaoke every weekend, and I was like, one day I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and I just, you know, sing it. And it was so fun, dude. Like, and I wasn't bad, you know. It was like, I was all right, but my voice is so not used to it. Yeah. So like 1 or 2 songs in, my voice would be like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" Like,
singing is it's a muscle, dude. Like to be able to sing is a muscle. You're using your diaphragm. You're using your chest. Like they have 3 or 4 different kinds. You're never supposed to sing from your throat. So you have what we call like your falsetto or your head voice. You have your chest, which is like a mixed sound. It's really cool. Demi Lovato does it a lot. And then you have you're singing from your belly. It's usually like a darker sound or heavier.
Yeah, I've heard that term though. Like you gotta sing from your stomach.
Yeah, it's hard though because like, and it's one of those things where if you don't use it, you lose it for sure.
Really?
Yeah. So like, I have really big lungs. And I gotta stop smoking though, honestly. Like I've been noticing, I'm like, God damn it, bitch! Like I can't breathe. And like singers, you'll always see usually, their upper abdomen is like really toned because of how much they use it when they sing.
They're exercising those like muscles.
Yeah,
it makes sense. So. But yeah, like I, in my opinion, like artists aren't really born. It's just that some people find what they love to do really early. Like, for example, I give this example all the time. Like, people that like drawing and stuff. Like, a lot of people are into art, but they've drawn since a kid. And they've been drawing the whole time, but they never count that as practice. But that's what it's been.
It is. It's
they've been practicing. So once you're, like, older and you, like, get more into it and more skilled, like, you're obviously good. And when you show people, you know, they'll be like, oh, you're good. Like, you're naturally good. But nah. Yeah. You've been practicing the whole time. And it's the same thing. Like, you've been exercising your voice and all that stuff. So it's like, you gotta, you know, you're never gonna know unless you go out there and, like, do it, you know. Whatever, if not The Voice, one of the other shows, you know, like, aside from the exposure you will get, like, like, what's the worst that could happen?
We'll see what happens. I don't know. I always wonder, like, how that works out financially for people, too. Like, because I feel like they have to take time off of work, you know, and things like that. But I'm down for it. I'm down to try it if I get, like, a good situation going. Like,
no, well, they, like, they have to take time off of work because usually they're not from here. But all that is based here, isn't it? So you wouldn't really have to.
They travel. They travel around to different places for, like, recording and the whole production of it. You know what I mean? So a lot of it is here.
Like I don't know that much about like behind the scene, but you think like they get paid like
I think they do, but I don't know if it's that much, honestly. I think they pay for like all your accommodations and for every time that you show up on TV and whatever your ratings are, like your votes, I guess. But I really don't know.
we gotta get you to that point, where you could actually go out and not have to, like,
Yeah.
dude, because like, dude, I've seen some of the videos. I'm like, dude, you could sing, bro.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
you're
Thank
not
you.
like, I've heard some, we be karaoke. I've heard some awful, you got that. It's like smooth. That's one of the things that I noticed. Like, after like 2 or 3 songs, like I would stop sounding like I was sounding from the jump. I was like, I'm not used to this,
Yeah.
And Pops will just be like, you just gotta keep doing it. You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
keep it. But it's really fun. Like, I
And
was
he
like,
breaks
what?
out the you're like, fuck you.
Well, the thing with me is that I'm really good at imitating people.
Oh.
Like, I'm really good. So I could imitate like Johnny Cash. I could imitate
That's cool.
like Elvis. I could imitate like some Spanish singers.
Show me an Elvis. I want to see.
Nah,
Well, you could do it.
Nah, you can't put me on the spot like that.
Like he's getting all red.
Yeah, I fucking start sweating and shit. Yeah, like and it's fun. Like I was like, dude, why the fuck hadn't I tried this? This is so fun. It's such a like.
It is though, and I find that singing is such a release too. Yeah, because sometimes you just want to fucking scream, right? But you're in your fucking neighborhood. You're in your fucking tiny ass apartment in the fucking hood, and somebody might think you're getting domestically abused. I don't fucking know. So instead, just make it into a fucking singy song and sound, and it's still like it's breath work in a way. You know what I mean? Like
you be singy screaming.
Straight. I be fucking doing metal shit at my house. My house is so echoey too.
Really?
Yeah, I have like I'm still getting things on the walls, so I'll be doing like screamo shit just for myself, and I'm like, God damn, everybody probably hears this shit, but fuck it. My dog's like, I love you, keep going, and I'm like, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, your neighbors are like, this bitch is crazy. She's always out here screaming. What the fuck?
But then every now and then they'll hear me like actually belting out a good note, and they're like, damn.
Oh no, she got some skill. Keep screaming,
Maybe,
girl. Keep screaming. That's really cool though. Like I was mentioning this, or like we have a mutual friend that does like really dope makeup, and she's really creative, and she found it young, and like we've had conversations. I'm like, dude, I wish I would have found what I was like really passionate about at a young age. You know, it's like really cool. And you said something that was like resonated with me. You said that like when you did like when you did something, it was like with singing, and you felt it, like you felt like this is my thing.
Session.
Yeah. I had that very same experience. Like it was probably like the 3rd time I went to do stand up. Mm-hmm. Like I went. Well, the thing was like when I get into stuff, I research the shit out of it. So I had looked like everybody was saying the same thing when it comes to stand up, and like starting is like it's gonna be bad. Nobody's gonna laugh. It's gonna be hard. So mentally, I was like, all right, I'm going to suck. Like, fuck it. I'm not going to die if I do bad. Yeah. But I did, like, half of the time that I was saying shit, people were laughing. So I was like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah. I was like,
you're funny, dude. You're fucking hilarious. There's some shit you just pull out of your ass, like, out of nowhere. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, and then I've, like, in a way, I've always been practicing because I'm saying, like, I've always been like the clown. I've always try to find the funny in things. Mm-hmm. So, I guess in a way I had been practicing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I had like a pretty good set, and like I was driving back, and I was like on this fucking high, like I was almost emotional, like I was almost like, God damn, am I gonna just start crying right now?
Oh, there's times when I'm singing just by myself, and I cry. I fucking cry at my own fucking shit, and I'm like, because it's a good, like it's just a release. It's a release of emotion. It's happiness. Mm-hmm. It's endorphins. It's damn, I found something that I truly love, and people like it too, which is cool. Yeah.
That's I've talked to some of the guys that I've met through in the stand-up comedy scene. Like one of the things, like I said, I've always been creative. I've been a creative person since I was really small. But like I had a crazy childhood, like moved from parent to parent, so I never really had like someone kind of like push me to like, this, you're good at this, keep mm-hmm. doing this. I never had that experience like throughout any part of my life. And with stand-up, like all the guys, they're always like, bro, you're funny. Like I've had some of the guys on the podcast, and they've talked about like, because some of them were there like the second night that I went up, you know? So they were like, I just had the last podcast I did was he hosted both my first times ever going up on stage. So he was there. He's seen the progression, And they're like, bro, like seeing you fucking from the jump, and then now it's like it's crazy. Like you're moving at a crazy pace, and like that feels good, you know, having someone like tell you like you need to keep doing this, keep coming out and shit. Like that goes so far as like, you know, I'm like, dude, I want to keep coming, you know. If you guys gonna keep hyping me up like this, god damn it. Yeah, like and like I've had shows where I'm like getting laughs the whole show, and they're like, bro, like you were killing it tonight. They were actually, I'll tell you, they were making fun of me a little bit because the last 2 shows that I've had, I invited like a friend, like a female friend, and they're like, bro, like you go Super Saiyan when you have females.
You're like, yeah, I gotta fucking impress.
Yeah, they were like, bro, you hit like an extra gear or some shit, bro. But I was like, keep bringing them. They were like, keep bringing them.
Don't mind me, I'm taking off my boots. Sorry. I gotta get comfortable.
Get comfortable. Mi casa es su casa.
Oh, honestly, dude, I was gonna tell you. I was like, when I went to the bathroom, your house is so homey.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like a home?
It reminds me of my home.
Really?
It does, yeah. I'm like, damn, I could fall asleep here. I'm gonna drool on the pillow and all.
It's because it's like good vibes, you know? Like my family's like chill. Everybody's like,
I'm gonna.
We've been through some shit, so we know tough times, you know? We know like, I mean, we still
stick together.
Yeah. It's like, that's the vibe in the Alvarez household.
Damn straight. I love it.
We actually did something that I did on my last podcast that's not out. We had we sent out a little message on the IG.
Oh yeah.
And had people ask questions or things that they wanted to know about you. So I have a list right here. So we'll jump into some of those in a little bit. But I know you said you haven't really been shooting a lot, but what is the process as far as like working with people? Like how do you like you just normally like random people hit you up? Is there photographers you hit up to work with? What's your creative process when it comes to like the photography thing?
Yeah. So I haven't been shooting in a long time. I kind of stopped for a while because there's just a lot of personal stuff that I was going through and all that. But yeah, I'll get random people that hit me up. They'll just see my stuff or see others work with me, you know, and they'll be like, hey, are you down to do this and that? And I'll tell them, yeah. I usually do TFP, honestly, because I'm like, I'm not trying to make fucking money. I'm trying to have fun and try to make cool stuff. So, and it helps photographers, you know, so that's cool. But yeah, I'm kind of picky nowadays, definitely, because I've had the experience and I'm OCD about how I want my feed or what I want to be out there. So I'll kind of look through their work and I'll give people a chance, you know, don't get me wrong. But so yeah, people hit me up and then I'll go and hit people up, people I know I'm comfortable with or whatever. And it's really just communication back and forth. Like, okay, what's the vibe? What are we feeling? You know what I mean? Or are we just gonna want to get together and figure it out? Or do we have a specific kind of like look we're going for? You know, is it urban? Is it punk? Is it cutesy, boho, whatever? Like, we'll figure it out, natural. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I go about it. It's usually DMs or text or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I asked because I wanted to kind of like get into the like as far as like working with people and stuff that you like. I kind of always like to ask models like what were some of like the positive experiences or like things that you liked when you were working with people, just for like people that might be interested in like getting into modeling, like some.
So when I first started like going to meets and stuff, I'm very analytical. So I'm very much like picking out all the time, like what do I like, what do I not like, how do I get better, you know, kind of thing. And one thing I noticed, at least at meets, that I really liked was when people would come up to me and they would say, hey, I like direct, like people being direct, you know. I don't want people to beat around the bush. I don't have time for that, honestly. Like, I'm like, okay, what do you want? Don't waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. Let's do it. Yeah. So I like when people come up to me and they're like, hey, can I shoot you? And that's awesome because I'm like, okay, you've established you want to shoot with me. That's great. But you've also asked me. You don't just start shooting me and then walk off. You know what I mean? Because for one, like, not that I'm super concerned about where those photos are going to go, but I'm trying to build like a good look for myself, you know, and establish myself as somebody who can be professional and work really well. And oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Fuck.
We're just like what the process is of like as far as working with people and
Yeah. And so it's just considerate, you know, when people ask you directly and they ask to take photos of you instead of just coming up and being like, boop, okay, bye. Like, did you want to get my socials? Do you want to network? Do you want to like get to know me? Because if not, I kind of feel raped in a way. Not gonna lie, a little strong, but
I'll play devil's advocate a little bit.
yeah.
So one of the things that like with that specifically at the meets is like there's a lot of people that might be a little shy or afraid to ask. So I understand why people just sometimes just jump in and take a few pictures and then dip.
Yeah.
Because they like it's just not really in them to like be upfront and like ask people. So I'm
that's
like,
fine too. Yeah, that's totally fine. But it's like, oh, I don't know. This is just me though. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know. I've been told I look intimidating. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. There's tons of people that are like, damn, I've met so many people where like they were too shy to come up to me or whatever. And they're like, yeah, you looked really intimidating or like you look like a bitch. But I've straight up had people tell me, they're like, I thought you were a bitch, but you're actually really nice. And I'm like, thank you. But is that kind of backhanded? Like, shit. They like, okay, whatever.
They just like compliment offended you.
Yeah. It's cool though. But yeah, no. So I really, at least for me, like I want people to know that like, no, I'm open, you know what I mean? And I'm not mean. I'm nice. I'm direct. I'll tell you how I want shit to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, like don't be nervous. Please don't be nervous. I'm looking right at you right now. Okay. Come up to us. We're here for you to shoot us. But like for me, at least, like I don't want a million flashes going off at once because I'll fucking get dizzy and fall. Like I can't focus on what poses you want. I've got multiple people telling me what they want. And I'm like, oh, we're getting all the same shots. Like whoa. So just be direct and just be like, hey, what's up? Get out of your shell a little bit. It's okay. Nobody's going to hurt you. And the worst thing that people can do is say no or, and don't let it hurt your feelings. They don't fucking matter. And then if they're being rude.
No, and then like at the meets overall, I feel most people like because they are, you know, everybody knows what they're going for as far as like if you're gonna model, like you know, people are gonna be there taking pictures of you. So overall, it's really welcoming and fun. Like I've met so many really dope people. I always tell people, even if you're not a model or not a photographer, like you should just check one out, especially if you're in LA and have the time to just check one out. Like it's cool just seeing creative people get together.
It's a great way to meet people. Too. When I first came out here, I knew some people from like my past, but like everybody disperses, right? Over time, people come, people go. And so it's a great way to meet people and people that are like-minded. Which is really fun and cool. And then from there you split off into different groups or whatever. And
it's I've definitely met a bunch of cool people at the meet. So, like now, I've kind of like taken a step back a little bit when it comes to photography, but I still tend to hit up a lot of meets just to hang out. It's like I literally just go, don't even take my camera out sometimes just to hang out with the except when they do them in the mountains, like yesterday.
Oh, wait,
haters, y'all haters.
It's okay there. I showed up late. Like
last I've been there, but it's just like kind of hilly and crazy. So
you need one of those. You need a scooter.
Something.
Like, you need like a fucking ATV, dude. You need ATV.
Oh yeah, if I was ATV, I might have showed up. Dude, nah, but I was like,
they would start taking photos of you. You'd have girls on your fucking ATV.
I get like I don't know. I'm like, we know so many like creative, talented photographers, and they're always like, bro, jump in there. I'm like, no. After a few pictures, I don't know what the hell to do.
Don't be scared.
Nah, I'm more behind the camera. It's weird, like, but like if you think about it, it's like it's crazier to get on stage.
I would, yeah.
Well,
because when you're on stage, people can boo you off.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if people are taking photos of you, you can just leave. You can just walk away, and they're like, "Okay, bye."
It's just, I think it's just a lack of experience as far as posing, you know, that shit. Like, I don't know my angles. Like, I'm like, I get thrown off real quick, you know. You want me to stand? Fall shit. My creative shit will be falling off my chair. You know how you jumped it when we were shooting.
People will just Photoshop you, and you'll become a meme. Yeah, they'll like make you fall.
Who wants to Photoshop
and stuff? I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
I have like art concepts in my head when it comes to my chair with shit like that. Where like, sometimes I feel like one specific painting I have in my head is like, I want to do a painting where it's like a portrait of myself, but from below my injury down, it's like a skeleton. It's not my actual body, because I feel like that a little bit sometimes. Or other one, sometimes I feel like I'm kind of like I'm dragging myself. So I kind of like, I would do a painting where it's like my chair and like my torso is just hanging off the side of the.
Dude, you should do like this horror concept where like your body is like kind of morphing into your chair and like looking all grotesque and crazy and shit. That would be cool. I like gore and shit. Like I like the horror weird shit. So whenever I see shit like that, that's like you don't really see a lot of, like, that's really cool. That's,
I mean,
a cool
in a
idea,
way
though.
that's like a pretty good visual representation of what my chair actually, it's a part of me.
Yeah.
Like if without it, I'm stuck, you know? So it almost is like a direct attachment to my body, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that painting that's behind you. That's that was the first like actual concept that I had in my head.
That's sick.
So that it's like a rib cage,
mm-hmm.
but down the middle of it has a road.
Yeah.
And where my level of injury is, it has a sign that says road closed. So that's like
really that high?
A visual, yeah. Like I can't move or feel from my chest down. So like all these muscles, I can't use them. So if my balance is all messed up, like I can't cough right.
Oh,
that's why, like when COVID,
you get sick,
that's a good thing that I've always been pretty healthy, so I rarely get sick. But that was like one of the biggest scares when like COVID and the pandemic started, because it's like a respiratory.
Yeah.
So aside from the fact that I can't cough right, I'm missing half a lung. So yeah, at first I was like, I'm just gonna stay home. I don't want to die. Yeah, like it was crazy. I was
wow, I didn't even think about that, bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Even this, like I've always been good at imitating voices and stuff, but because I can't use these muscles, I can't do certain things like I used to. Like I used to be able to imitate Cartman from South Park perfectly.
Yeah,
dude, I used to fucking, my sisters, I would have them rolling with Cartman
on the floor,
but I can't do it the same anymore because I can't use my like your diaphragm muscles or whatever. Or is this your diaphragm muscle? Yeah. So it's weird. It's like, this. When it comes to like a spinal cord injury, there's so many things that just most people don't know. Like most people just see me and they're like, he can't walk. But that's like the simplest part. There's so many other like layers
they don't
to
think
this
about
shit.
all the other things.
Yeah,
wow,
it's like
dude.
It's like a crazy
Well, you could just say like, man, I'm a fucking miracle. That's what I am.
I mean, in a way, I
think the human body's insane. What the human body can continue to do and be put through is crazy.
Yeah, like. Yeah,
you are you're a rolling miracle.
A rolling miracle.
Damn straight.
Well, there's a lot of us.
I'm gonna put some wings on your chair so you can
fucking give me some Red Bull so I don't sleep for 3 days and shit. Why did I take this Red Bull? Yeah.
Okay, this is a silly question, but have you ever thought about putting like rocket boosters on your chair?
I'm sure it's been done.
I know, but
I'm not trying to get a head injury from eating shit from. Nah, I would. I'd be down, but like. If it's like...
That's like some jackass shit.
If it was for jackass, I'd totally put some motherfucking rocket boosters on my shit. Hell
yeah, that would be sick as fuck. I'm going to hit them up.
I need some adventure in my life.
Everybody start like hitting up the jackass bros.
I'm sure someone's tried it. I would put money on it that some motherfucker was like, I'm going to put rockets on my shit. And just, or some fire or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
Just to get some like thrill in their life and shit. I'd be down though. Under the right circumstances, I'd be like,
you're ballsy.
Boost me up, bro. Boost me up.
Hit that nitrous, baby.
I kind of miss racing, you know. Yeah, we're gonna have to hit up them jackass folks. All right, let's get into some of these questions that some of your followers had. Some of them were just comments from the homies, you know. Some of them were like, the homie Abel was like, why you so dope though?
I don't know. It's that Aquarius blood, baby. You already fucking know. Shit, we too free. We air signs, man. We fucking just go with the wind. We this way, we that way. Sometimes we in your face, fucking shit up. Dude, tornadoes. All right. out of all the fucking natural disasters, tornadoes are the scariest to me because that's fucking air taking you up. Okay,
Yeah.
it don't go. It's not a fucking earthquake. Okay, we get those here. A fucking tsunami. Like, oh shit, it's water. Like, I mean, that's downplaying Ella, you know, or hurricanes.
Yeah,
Hurricanes too, dude. That's part like tornado
almost the
and
same,
water.
but in the water. Yeah.
Yeah, like that shit's crazy.
Yeah, it's like,
It rips
you know
up
what I think
houses.
you know what's crazy? Those people that live in those like in hurricane tornado alley or whatever. Why the fuck don't they move after the last? Like they keep rebuilding
I don't know. That
and
same
shit.
shit with like Florida. Like they get one every fucking year, and they're always like, "It's
Yeah,
bigger than the last one." And I'm like, "Well, then why the fuck are you living there, dude?"
That's what I
like,
don't get. I'm like,
I have family in Florida, and I'm like, "You guys are crazy." They're like, "It's hurricane season. We're not sure if we're gonna leave our house and all our valuables, or
yeah, I'd be fucked in the
too
rain.
much of a
like,
gamble." Too much.
I
of a
think
gamble.
about that. Like, I'd be fucked in a zombie apocalypse. My crippled ass would
Not
be
if
the
you
first.
had that nitrous, baby.
Yeah, I'll need that fucking
You need
nitrous.
AR and fucking nitrous, and you're good to go.
Nah, because the AR will probably fucking drop me from my chair, and then I'd be.
You probably would
I
have
was shooting it.
better. You need like a, if you're in the zombie apocalypse, you would need like a EKG setup where you could use your brain waves to move your fucking chair, and then you would have such stability to like get those headshots, dude. You'd be great. You'd be fine. Science has come so far. There's hope for you.
Eventually, I mean, not that, but eventually, I feel like they'll figure some shit out, you know. But fuck the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. So as far as why am I so dope, I don't know, dude. You figure it out. Like,
It's just cause you're genuinely you. I think that's what makes you dope. That you're comfortable in your. Yeah, one of the things I kind of, we talked about this a little earlier. I've always had this weird ability to pick up people's vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes just by looking at them, whether good or bad. Like sometimes I'm like, this is a really cool person, or I need to stay away from this person. That stuff. And like I told her like we met through the photography meet. So we were like around each other. Like you'd be shooting, and I was just in the meet, like in the area, like one or two times.
I'll tell you now, like, sorry to interrupt you, but like,
Okay.
I saw you rolling around.
Yeah.
Dude. I saw you, and I was like, we'll see if he comes over. And then you're hanging out with the crew.
Yeah.
And then we finally fucking met, and I was like, I could tell. I was like, you a sick ass dude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but the same. I was like, dude, you're really cool. And like, I was like, this, you have like a dope vibe. And then eventually, just because like we know a lot of the mutual people, it was just like, what up kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we are like, we would just like talk here and there, nothing crazy, until we went to your apartment with Rex that one time.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I was just like,
dude,
dude,
that night,
this.
dude. Fucking Rex. I love her. She's my homegirl. Like, serious, but she's so funny. She's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I got home at 5 a.m. that day because I still had to drop her off at her house and come back. Man, me and Rex have had some adventures, dude.
I'm sure, dude. She's so much fun.
Dude, I'll tell you, she scared the shit out of me one time.
What?
So we went to a party. I think there was this was just a party with a bunch of the homies at like a friend's house, and then like we were drinking and shit. And she was 17 at the time, and then she wasn't even there with me. She had gone with some of the homies, and then we all just met up there, and we were all getting fucked up. And then she was leaving with the people that she came with, but I guess they had a little argument or something, and she was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna stay. So she came back and she was like, yo, you think you could take me home? And I was like, yeah, bro, don't even trip. So she got fucking wasted, and then I was like, cool. As soon as we got in my car, she fucking fell asleep. I got to her house and she wouldn't wake up. So I was sitting outside her house. I was sitting outside her house with a 70-year-old blacked out drunk. I was like, dude, hitting up the homies like, yo, you.
What do I do? Oh my god, you're sweating bullets. Like,
dude,
fuck.
Dude, I knew where she lived, but I didn't know exactly where she is. So I didn't want to just like leave her either, you know? So I was
like, I gotta fucking piss too. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, I was just like, what the fuck, man? I think I even got a
if
a
she
video.
did.
I was just like, literally, I had to wait it out. Like, I think I literally just waited in the car for like a couple of hours. So she was like, because I was like, Rex, please wake up. And she wasn't waking up, dude. I was like
She all good. She's just sleeping. She's in her,
yeah.
she's
But
in
I
her
was like,
world.
please, no police.
Yeah.
That shit was
So
wild.
did you
Imagine.
sleep in the car? What happened?
Kind of like, so I literally was just chilling for like 2 hours, and then
You're
she
just
finally
toking it up, waiting for her to like.
basically
Yeah.
like, and then eventually she's like, oh, okay. She kind of got up, and I was like, you sure you know where your house is? That type
Yeah.
of thing. But yeah, I was like, fuck, man.
I
like,
want to hear her adventures, dude. Like, I want to fucking. She's got stories, I'm sure.
oh,
dude.
for sure.
I love
Yeah,
it. I got stories of my own too, dude. There's some crazy shit I've done. Fuck.
Drop one. What's the wow?
No. That's for another time. Fuck.
And all right, so should we get into another like an official question?
Yeah.
Cause
I'm gonna. I already know that Dave asked me. What did he fucking say?
he just said, "How is Dave awesome?"
How is Dave awesome? Dave, you're fucking shit. All right, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you, Dave. Is that what you wanted? You nasty ass. I ain't giving you no pleasure.
He's gonna have you on his podcast and just
No, he's not. No, he's not. I've hit him up so many fucking times. I'm like, bro. He's like, yeah, we'll get it done. We'll get it. I'm like, all right. Nothing. Dave, you don't really love me like you say you do. Okay? It's all about the action, son. I don't want to be on your podcast. Fuck you, Dave.
I got her first. All right,
I'm just kidding. I really do love you. Thank you for always taking great photos of me.
have her on, bro.
He does really good headshots of me, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he's good. He's a really good photographer.
Of course.
Yeah, he
Top tier, baby.
he knows his lighting. He's a lot, like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we have so many homies that are fucking
Talented.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like just
And they're quick with it too. They're like, they know what they want. So
yeah, they should we get at actual questions?
Yeah.
So the next question was, what about creating art, photography, music, etc. do you love and why?
that's a good question. There's so much to unpack in that question. Shit. The most, or just like, can you ask the question again?
It's just it's kind of like open. It's what about creating art, photography, music, etc. do you love and why?
I'm gonna use all of that together. Art, music, whatever, photography. Is the freedom that comes with it. I think you get into a headspace where it's like you don't really have to think too much, at least on my end. It's like you're able to just make it happen, I guess. I don't know. That's a hard question, actually, now that I think about it.
Well, I mean, in a way, you kind of answered it earlier. It's just like the creative process, and then like, if you feel like it's something that you were kind of like meant to do, it's like, I feel like
I think in some ways too is that you can pour your soul into it. Nobody else has to get it except you. But other people will get it, and that's what's cool, because then you can level on those people and you realize you're not alone in this world, which is sick. I think that's a lot of what art is I mean, it's used for so many things, but like to get your point and message across, to speak out about who you are, and yeah, that's what art is,
Yeah, it's like
and giving those new perspectives to people, because everybody's experiences are different. And actually, I had like this awesome history teacher in like junior year of high school, and one of the things he told me was like, I may be like 32 or however old he was, but just because I'm 32 and I've had all this life experience doesn't mean that what you have to bring to the table doesn't fucking matter. Because I think kids growing up a lot don't get to speak and think. Nobody gives them that affirmation as far as like, hey, what you think and what you feel and your life experience matters. It's more of like, you're just a kid, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And that my entire life was the biggest problem for me. I had all these teachers and all these people, aside from like my creative teachers, that were always like, you're just a fucking kid. Even your own parents, they're like, you don't fucking know shit. I'm an adult. I've been through all this. But it's like, yeah, but you're not taking into account like what I've learned through my own experiences and stuff. And like, something he said was like, just because I have all this experience doesn't mean I can't still learn from yours.
Right.
And that's what I think I love the most about art, is that when you do get to show those that experience and that perspective, you know, other people learn from that too. And I mean, people do it all. They take inspiration from other people's art, you know what I mean, and all that. So I think that's what I love the most.
And then eventually, regardless of the art form, like you connect with people. People connect and kind of like feel whatever it is you're doing, you know. And that's like powerful, dude. Like for someone to maybe have like a similar experience to you, and like them invite me, like, dude, like, you know, I understand this. Like, that's a crazy, you know.
Yeah, and it's really fun, you know.
For sure.
Art's always fun. And if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. That's all I have to fucking say.
Yeah, that's one of the good thing about creative people, is like they tend to be really interesting and like dope people. I mean, there's some weirdos, but
that's how people, I think, like when you're trying too hard for art, that's when people get blocks. Like they're like, oh, dude, like I can't fucking finish my painting, or like I fucking hate this shit, or it's because you're trying too hard. Just little by little, see where it goes. You know what I mean? That's what I do with my writing process, is like I write something for a general idea, and then I'll write a little bit more. Nah, I got to go back and erase this shit and reword it, or change the melody and layer and layer. It's you know, it's doing pieces. That's the same thing with like painting, right? Like you got to do your fucking base white paint, and then you got to do all the different parts, and so and it becomes fun, you know? So
yeah, unless you get in your head, and then you start, you know, and then it can get stressful and all that.
Yeah, but that's why
overall, it's like it's a dope outlet. Well, it's dope when you find your outlet, your creative outlet, you know.
Yeah.
And connecting with people.
Yeah.
I
got a burp.
Burp it out.
Excuse me.
From one of the other photography homies, T Blood.
Aw, T, I love you.
Yeah. What is your favorite song to sing so far?
As far as my own shit,
do both. The song you worked on, and then one of your favorite songs in general.
That's hard. That's really fucking hard. For songs in general, I don't know. It comes and goes. It depends on the mood. Honestly, I can't pick one. I really can't. I've tried. People have been like, they've asked me this question multiple times, and I'm like, I don't know. Am I angry? Am I sad? What's going to speak to my soul today? I don't know. Yeah. But as far as like my own songs, I really like this song on my new EP. Nice. It's my favorite song to sing. It's so much fun for me. I love it. I love it. I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to make more. But so far, everything that I've put out is just kind of like test run. Like, here, I'm putting this. This is what I can do. When I have a song that I like wrote, and it's kind of about like the transition of my life, like the like coming of age and like figuring shit out. I really like that song. It's called, I can't even fucking remember now. How does it go again? I can't fucking remember. But
I mean, if you have it, I could.
Let me see. I probably got the lyrics for it, but fuck. Let's see if I can find it, because I have so many fucking songs.
I mean, also like after the fact, like through the editing process, you know, I could just throw it up like a little sample of it.
It's called "Where Do I Go From Here."
Where do I go? It's on. Is it out anywhere?
No,
like streaming?
It's on my Instagram, but I think they just took down the video because some other chick also used the beat and put it on Spotify, and then for whatever reason, Instagram was like, this is her song. And I'm like, I bought the song. So, and it's one of those things where it's like multiple people can buy the beat, the song, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of really fucking annoying.
Well, doesn't it stay where you can't have, like, if it's one of those songs, like, you can't claim it? Like, how did she claim it if...
I don't know. And I don't know if she claimed it. Honestly, I think it was like a bot that Instagram has.
Automated.
Which is weird because I posted this shit she literally came and put this song on Spotify this year, and I posted this shit way before that, and I've been singing it like multiple times before that, so I don't know.
Does she have like a really big following, or
no, not at all? It's so random. And then so I listened to her song, and I'm not trying to shit on her stuff. She's got a very beautiful, like jazzy, like soul kind of sound. But the song that she sang, the melody was kind of close to what I came up with in certain areas. And it just didn't fit with her voice. But I'm not trying to be a critic here. I'm just saying, like, from my perspective, I was like, meh, I like mine better. That's just how it is.
Yeah, it might be one of those things. Like, have you ever had the experience, like, let's say you put out a picture that you're like, this picture's like whatever, and then it gets like this crazy response, or you'll put out a picture like, this is the shit, and then everybody's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I think it might have been one of those things where.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. I don't know. She doesn't have, like, she's got, like, well, I don't even know who she is. I don't think anybody really does, but she's got like 2 followers on Spotify. Not that I have many. I've got like 1 shit song out. But I did get hit up by somebody in Brazil, and she was like, I love your fucking song. And I was like, it was in my requests, and I never look at my requests because I don't know. It's usually spam.
I can just imagine.
And it's usually like weirdos like showing me their dick, and I'm like, great micro penis, dude. Like, thanks. Or sometimes I'll be like, great mushroom tip. I don't fucking know. What do you want? Like, I don't know. And so I just was going through it one day, because sometimes it's good to go through. And then she's like, yeah, I heard it and I loved it. And I was like, oh, thanks.
That's crazy. Like someone from Brazil. Like,
yeah, I got a lot from South America, actually.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people that are like, it's so weird because I never get song recommendations from anywhere else in the world except the US, which is so interesting. It's so interesting how in control of the media and like what is shown to the rest of the world, especially coming out of Hollywood, and like what the rest of the world is like seeing as like, this is what's cool, you know. It's like Western culture, everybody hates America, but they also love the media and the stuff that comes out of it.
No, like LA, just like when you're from LA, like we're like a brand, like, you know, like, so
I mean, look at the hat you're wearing, baby.
Yeah, we set the trends here. Like, everybody usually follows the shit that LA.
Yeah,
the
here in
trends
New York, I think.
Yeah.
And well, there's like major cities, like there's Atlanta, there's Tennessee.
Yeah, Atlanta has been like coming up for sure. Like in the last like 10 like years.
Their music scene right now.
Yeah,
is
it's
big.
popping. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's gonna get their chance, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I think, you know what? I think a lot of creatives stem from hardship.
For sure.
If you look at all, I mean, you move to LA. LA will eat you up and spit you out. It is such a different vibe. I mean, I saw a post the other day where it was like, if you're coming from New York, and New York is its own like business thing. Like, they have a business vibe going on there, and it's very, very fast paced, and everything's connected. Out in LA, everything's a little more spread out. Yeah. We are a little more laid back, but it's like, don't fucking mess with us. We will fuck you up.
Yeah, for sure.
In a very, LA is very dirty. We are very dirty and backstabbers. That's what we are. Whereas like people in New York will come up to your face and say, the fuck? Yeah. What about it? What about it? And they'll confront each other. LA is like, oh, I'm going to talk behind your back, and I'm going to fucking get you from behind here. But
do you think that stems from that New York is so much more condensely packed in than LA? Because LA is big as hell. Like, it's spread out by like a lot. Like, you literally have to drive. Like, here from here to downtown is like 20 minutes, and it's all this is LA.
Yeah, this is all LA, and it stretches out to San Gabriel Valley, and then even up to Van Nuys area-ish.
So you think that, like, that, bro? I'm gonna tell you, because I mean, when you're more condensed in, like, you're gonna see that person more often. You might as well deal with whatever it is, you know. You think there's a
I mean, the thing about LA is it's very big and spread out, but yeah, you see people all the time. Like, well, it depends on where you frequent too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if you're closer to inner city, you're probably gonna run into somebody often and be like, "Oh shit, what are you doing here?" You know what I mean? Like, and then bye. I think New York is more family ties kind of thing. LA is more blood, like found family. I think. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like people, especially people that want to get into like the entertainment industry. Like, we get the best that everybody else has to offer, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of the people that are here aren't from here, you know?
Yeah.
So there's that. There's also that aspect of it. I mean, New York has that as well, because they're like a mecca
they
for a
get
bunch
a
of
lot
things
of
too.
fashion people. They get a
Yeah.
lot of fashion and like
I know the comedy scene is cracking in New York, and like the
they got a lot
music
of
scene,
comedy.
obviously.
Yeah, they have a great music scene. I think they're more theatrical though. Whereas like out here
Yeah.
we're more we're like fashion, music, and status. And New York is more like fashion, comedy, and business.
Yeah. Wall
So,
Street.
yeah. Them fools making their damn monies. They got people in New York are crazy. Dude, the way they live, because I mean we've got apartments on apartments, right? But again, we're still spread out. New York is all high rises.
Yeah.
And like even when you go out like further from like Manhattan and stuff, it's still like really tall buildings and they're all super compact. I mean, they have like get a 400 square foot place for like insane prices. Yeah. And here, I mean, it's still insane here. Like we still pay like 2,000 for a 400 square foot place. Not me, because I got pick it, but I figured it out. I don't know. You get lucky in LA sometimes, but yeah, it's crazy.
No, yeah, it's like I've never been to New York, so I just like
the farthest east I've traveled is Tennessee because I have family out there. Tennessee. But I want to do so much traveling, dude.
Yeah.
And I've never been out of the country, not even to Mexico, baby.
I've been to like TJ, Rosarito, but that's it. Like I've never. My dad has family in Mexico, brothers and sisters that I've never met, just because we've never, like gone out.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually that's something that I want to do. Like it's really, at least from what I've heard and seen, like it's really good to like go away from where you were born and raised and like see other things,
Yeah.
Even if it's just other parts of the U.S. and not necessarily. Obviously, it'd be dope to go out of the country as well, but just like to get out of like your element and get out of like your comfort zone can only be like a good.
Yeah. I think every time I've left California, I always come back and I have to like skip a beat to get back into the groove because everywhere else outside of LA is so laid back. I mean, aside from like large cities like New York and Atlanta, probably.
I've experienced that. But
even you go to Nashville, dude, it's so laid back, dude. So laid back. Yeah. Traffic there, they're like, oh, it's heavy traffic, and it's like moving, and you're like, no, we're sitting here for an hour, and then we move like half an inch, like.
Yes, it's like a different. I was born and raised here, and then my family moved up to the state of Washington for a few years.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
when
that
I was
earlier.
like I was 12.
Yeah.
Culture shock, like a motherfucker. It's just like
hella white people.
Hella white people.
You're like, I'm the only brown person here.
Dios mío, ¿qué pasó aquí? Like, dude. And then I was going through puberty yet. Like everything just fucking like that shit.
It's getting more diverse from what I hear. I think a lot of people are moving out of California.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
It's just too expensive.
Yeah.
All the taxes and we're going into a recession too right now. So
yeah, there's a lot of bullshit happening. Like,
don't come to California. All right, I know they're building more apartments, but here's the thing: you got to build more businesses and have more jobs in order to have more people live here. So like, don't come here. There's no more room. No more room. It's not pleasant. You could visit for a week, that's fine, but then leave.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm not hating one way or another. I'm just like, if you want to come and try it out. But
it'll eat you up and spit you out if you don't get with it, because LA is not a friendly place either.
Nah.
Not
yeah,
friendly.
we're not like the hi neighbor.
Yeah, especially out here too. Because the thing about LA is there are nice areas, but then you cross one road and it switches. It's like night and day.
Yeah, it's the hood. Like, shit, even in the nice, like,
you look at
gang culture
wrong.
here is so heavy that like it's everywhere. Even like in Beverly, even in the nicest places, if you run into the wrong person.
I work in Beverly Hills, and just the other day, somebody got their car jacked, and this was on Beverly Drive, like South Beverly Drive, right there in Wilshire, like in the cut. And so somebody got their like Lambo jacked, and then somebody also got beat up, and everybody on the streets, they're not going to come and save you. They're not. People are not friendly. They don't want to get involved. So they're just watching and videoing you. So it's like, you always have something on you.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, it happens everywhere, but here, because like it's so many people here, and like the culture and everything, it's like, yeah. I mean, and then shit just has been wild, you know,
Think
like
about it. We're angry. We gotta pay so much to fucking live here. Shit.
that and all the other fucking wild shit that's
All
going
the
on
other
in the
social
world right
shit,
now.
yeah.
Like,
Whew.
yeah, we're
I am
there.
oily as fuck right now. Damn, I'm dewy. Dewy, baby.
It's a
These
little
lights
warm.
are
Yeah,
fucking
it's a little.
shining on
It's a
me.
little warm in here.
I did my
I guess I
makeup
will
earlier.
do.
That's why.
Let me see. We'll do one. Well, there's like this long.
I know. Go for it. Go for it. I know it's super long.
Yeah, you wanna hit that one? Okay, it's a really good question.
I told him I would.
So this is like a well, I'll just get into it. When you're working in a group, on a team, or even in your romantic relationship, do you feel most comfortable in the leader role, in the organizer role, or in the network role?
So in a team or in a group, I normally go for the team lead or the networker because I am adaptable. I'm very quick with shit. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I'm very quick with shit and I'm very good at multitasking. But then I'm very direct and I've always, because I'm the oldest of all of my siblings. I have a lot of siblings. So I just had to like step up. You know, I had that responsibility. And my mom didn't have time to like baby me, honestly. So she was like, go. I remember one time we were at a Walmart. I was with my brother and my mom was like, you guys want to go get food? Like McDonald's, because they had a McDonald's in Walmart. And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, here's some money. And I was like, what? I was like 6, dude. She's like, yeah, go order. You just get chicken nuggets and like your Happy Meal or whatever. And I was like, I have to do it. I have to talk to the people. She's like, yes, otherwise you're not getting fucking food. So I was like, can Jordan come with me? And so my little brother, he's like, if I'm 6, he's probably like 5 maybe. I'm like walking over there with my fucking cash that my mom gave me. And I walk up and I'm like, so I get up to the line and I'm like looking at the menu and I'm like, okay, just say it. Just like repeat it. It's right there. So I get up and I'm like, yeah, can I have what's it? And I look down at my 5-year-old brother. I'm like, what is it called? It's right fucking there. I know what it is, but my brain's just like so overwhelmed with anxiety. Like,
Yeah.
And he's like, chicken nuggets. I was like, yeah, can I have 2 Happy Meals? And she's like, okay, you want a Coke? And I was like, yeah. And so I gave my money and then that was that. And I was like, my brother was like, you're stupid. And I was like,
different times, dude. Like I like
different time. But then every time after that, I never had a fucking problem and I just stepped up into the role. And I always like, I don't know. People always looked up to me for whatever reason. Like even at school, they'd be like, "Okay, who's gonna be the group master, the group leader, or whatever?"
Yeah.
And
Me.
yeah, well, I didn't raise my hand, but I think I also had like a loud look, so they were just like, "It's you," and I was like, "Okay, fuck it," you know. I gotta do what I gotta do, and so I do well in that role. I'm a boss bitch. So,
and that's it was like in a group setting, in like like relationship setting.
Oh, in a relationship. In my relationship, I try to do a tit for tat. I know when I need to take the back seat and shut the fuck up because it's just not going to go anywhere. But then I do have a problem with shutting up because I've always been the one that had to say something or whatever. And so it's a little bit of both. I think I definitely, what was the other one? It was leader, networker. What was it?
Well, I think it was a general question. It's like working in groups, on a team, or in a romantic relationship. It's just like, are you comfortable being the leader, the organizer, or the networker? And
I'm an organizer for shit. My boyfriend, he makes fun of me because I make lists all the time, but it's just because like I'm thinking of so many things that it's like I'm gonna forget these small little things that are kind of insignificant.
Mhm.
So I'm an organizer. He's very good at like, oh, we're just going to pick up and go. And I've gotten a little bit better with that being with him, but I'm very much like, okay, I like to prepare. Like, I think it's good to prepare because you never know what's going to happen. Like, okay, when are we going? What's the attire? Is it just a chill vibe? Should I just show up in my PJs?
Mm.
Do I need to dress up? Do I need to bring water? Like, I don't know. What is it? What time are we coming home? What's going on tomorrow? Do I got work? Do I not? Or, you know what I mean? So I think it's just good to know.
It's probably connected to how you were saying you're like the oldest sibling. You kind of take on like the mom role, I feel like, as the oldest sibling.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to have a lot of those things. So it kind of makes sense that you.
Yeah. I think too. I just don't like things being sprung on me, and then I'm like, but I didn't pack extra underwear or like a bathing suit. I'm not gonna fucking just wear wet clothes the rest of the fucking day. Like, that's so uncomfortable. I hate wet socks. Like, bro.
That's a guy shit to do. That
is.
Most guys, we're like, fuck, let's go. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm like, I'll free ball when I need to, but I need something to hold it all in, baby, because it's just a mess when it ain't. Like, you don't want to see all that. I mean, you freaks, but
yeah, it's gonna be a guy. Yes, we do. What do you mean?
You nasty. All right, go find Jesus. Your mama would be ashamed unless she into that thing. I'm not here to judge, but
yeah, moms would be like, God damn.
Hey, if I did that shit, I would get smacked. So
that's why guys. That's why we die so often, because we just be, let's go, let's do it. Fuck. We don't need nothing.
About the consequences.
We don't need no water. What do you mean?
I'm like, no, you have mortality. You will die. You could die. Bring your hiking shoes. You might slip and fall, get bit by a rattlesnake, and then what? if you had hiking shoes, you could outrun that bitch.
That's like, I'm telling you, that's why we fucking die way more often than you guys do.
There's too many women in the world. I don't know. There's too many people in general.
You feel like shit. Now they're making arguments that there might not be enough people, like in the future, that we're gonna.
People are having less and less babies.
Yeah.
Because everything's too out of whack. Everything's out of whack. Socials are out of whack. Civil rights are out of whack. Social environment things are out of whack. People have no more morals. People don't have time to be. They want to live their lives and they don't want the responsibility of children, which makes sense. That's good. Don't bring up more messed up people in the world because there's already enough.
But we're also literally less fertile. We're becoming less fertile because of plastics and all that bullshit. That's a whole nother.
Microplastics in our blood.
Oh yeah, baby. Like there's like whole studies on, like, for example, a 20-year-old woman now has the same level as fertility as her 35-year-old grandmother at 20.
No wonder so many people have to get fertility treatment.
Yeah, and then us as men, it's literally the plastics that it's getting in our blood, like, because everything is processed. Yeah, like I'm like, it's a lot more times less fertile than my grandpa was at my age.
I wonder what that's gonna mean for us as we get older.
Well,
like, are we gonna? Because you know how, like, because our great grandparents, they lived on like better diets than we did because they didn't have all that. So they're living to be like in their 80s, 90s, like World War II people. They're all dying off, by the way, which is crazy to think. But so they're living long. But then I think so many people today are like partying and shit, and they have all these extra things, all these, man-made products and man-made foods and stuff. I wonder what that's gonna mean for us. Like, are we gonna die younger, you think? Have another baby boom?
Well, it kind of it balances out a little bit because the medical like is getting better, so it helps for longevity, as far as even if we are putting toxins in our body. But if we don't change the way that we're doing things, even as soon as like 6 generations from now, we're not going to be fertile at all. It's going to have to be artificial 100%. And like we're not really doing anything as a...
That's some Gattaca shit right there.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That's crazy. If you haven't seen Gattaca, go watch it.
That's an old school movie.
Yeah, dude.
That's a
I watched that shit in biology, and I was like,
Yeah.
mind blown.
That's
I love dystopian movies because we're living in a dystopian society. So
Right.
it's like, it's crazy. Or series, whatever.
Anything that we haven't talked about that you wanna?
I don't know. You said
Bring
you had
up
more
before
questions
this?
you remembered. Do you have any questions for me? Like, personally, I don't know.
Let me
I
see
feel
what
like
else
I've been answering a lot of questions and I haven't been asking questions about you. I don't really know what to ask though, because I'm not great at asking questions. I'm just like, I'm here. Hello. What you want?
I mean, we're like at an hour and 30 minutes. I'm cool to keep going. Like if
I
you
don't go in the office tomorrow, so.
I do need to take a little pee though.
Oh yeah.
I might have
Let's
to.
take a break. Fuck it. There's plenty to talk about. Like I said, I'll run my mouth all damn day.
We'll be back after this short message.
Oh.
Message? What the fuck? This
There ain't
short
no
pee
wait,
break.
sponsored.
Sponsor me, god damn it.
Cue elevator music now.
All right, let me go. I'll turn on the AC too, so it cools down. We back, Yeah, it's weird. Like when with my injury, it's like I can feel when I need to go, but I can't hold that shit. So
That's crazy.
It's not. I can't just. I like it. I get something called autonomic dysreflexia, and what they think it is, it's like an adaptation of our fight or flight response.
Oh.
So, but what it does is it like if I hurt myself, if I need to go to the bathroom, there's a few situations that trigger it. But what it does is it starts raising my blood pressure or lowering it. So you could literally see, like my face starts getting red, my ears get red, like
I didn't even notice shit, but
no, it's because I had just felt this. But if I had tried to hold it, you'll see it. Like I'll start sweating a little bit. Like it's such a weird thing, but
again, bodies are crazy.
Like like the shit that the way that like our body adapts to certain things is crazy, Yeah, it sucks, but it's crazy because if you have a T7 level or lower, you don't get it. So like those people have to be like on schedules. Like they have to kind of like hit the bathroom every like 4 or 5 hours, like because they literally can't feel.
Yeah,
it's like crazy. Yeah. So I'm like, it's good that I can feel because I don't have to be on a schedule. Nah, I can't. Okay. I can't move or feel. So you got like we call it a bowel program. So you kind of have to kind of train your body to go at a certain time. I've been really lucky because I've been able to like what I normally do is like I'll just before I'm gonna shower I'll just hit the toilet, That's and it's one of those things where like there's different ways. Like some people have to use suppositories, some people have to get all up in there and shit. But
hey man, sometimes the body is gross. As much as it is amazing, the human's body is gross.
Yeah,
that's why
I for me like because I approach everything like in a medical way. Yeah, I'm just like it's like a part of the process,
Yeah, I think I grew up with a bunch of guys, so like me talking about nasty ass shit, I'm just like, man. My boyfriend, he hates farting around me. He's gotten a lot better with it. I'm totally outing him right now. I think
let him rip, bro.
He likes to pretend that he doesn't shit and fart around people, but when you gotta go, dude, he go, and he doesn't like doing it around me. Me, I've never had a problem with it.
That's cool. See, like you're comfortable
sorry.
and you're.
Dude, it's better. Don't hold it in. I hate girls that are like, I don't fart. I'm like, bitch, yeah, you do. And it's probably stanky too. All right? You nasty.
Did you hear about that Brazilian model that didn't want to fart in front of her boyfriend? So she was holding it and it did something to her. Like she literally had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, because what happens is it gets stuck up in your bowels and then it could cause a rupture in your bowels.
Really?
Yeah. And it's bad because then you have, you'll get shit into your like guts or into the muscle in between your intestines and all that. It's bad.
Toxic, it's
really bad.
It's nothing but toxic, But like, I don't know the specifics, but she ended up having to go because she was like, I don't fart,
And then you had to have a whole ass surgery, and that's worse on your body. So just let it out, baby. Let it out.
Yeah.
If it's wet, check yourself.
If it's wet.
If it's wet, man, you always
Dude,
gotta check.
ain't nothing more fucked up than shitting your motherfucking self.
Dude, okay.
If you ever feeling like the shit and want to humble yourself, shitting yourself and sit in it, son. You ever feeling big headed? What were you saying? What were you gonna say?
Oh, there was this one time when I was struggling, and so I was working these odd jobs, and so I was working DoorDash, and this was when I lived out in the IE, and I was like not sure where I was going with my life and what was going on, and I was having issues. We never got to talk about our engagements. So like my engagement had just been broken off, and I wasn't going. I got fired from my job because they brought in like new management, and the chick that was hired on as my VP, like, she didn't like me. Like she literally went out of her way to introduce herself to everybody else except me because I was the intern and I was like nobody to her. Yeah. And I went out of my way and I was like, "Hi, I'm Brianna, you know, like so and so." And she was like, "Oh, okay. What do you do?" And I was like, "I'm over here. I've been working here for like almost 3 years now, and people keep telling me like, yeah, we're gonna hire you on. We're gonna hire you on." They cut me off because they did budget cuts basically, and they were like, "Bye." I was like, "Wow, fuck you guys."
That's fucked.
So I got fired, and they blamed it on some bullshit too. I was like, "Whatever, you don't really want to get into that, okay?" So then I was out of my engagement. I lost my fucking job, and I was going through like an identity thing. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wasn't going to school. I dropped out of community college, and I was really like in a deep depression, you know. It happens. It happens. It's life. And then me and my mom. I love my mom to death. Like I would do anything for her. But we do butt heads a lot, just because I'm a little more free spirited, and we're different but same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were arguing a lot, and I was out a lot, and I was drinking a lot and partying a lot. So I did this odd job, and to get by and pay my bills, and I had this one order for, it was like boba tea or whatever. So I went in, got the order, and I ordered something for myself, and I drank the boba tea. And I'm taking this order, and as I'm driving, I had to shit so bad. I have never had to shit so bad in my life. You know, like there's people who are like, literally, I was like, people will be like, "Oh, I was sweating and like it hurt so bad. I thought I was not gonna make." Bro, I was driving and I was like, "I'm not gonna make this order. I'm not gonna. I have to turn around and go home." Like I was literally like 5-7 miles or something from my house, and I was speeding down these streets. I was like, "Please don't let there be any cops. Please don't." And I was like sweating profusely. I was clenching my butt. I was like holding my freaking crotch. I was like, "Please, oh fuck!" And everything was spasming. And then I pull into the garage, and luckily we had a bathroom like right inside the door to our house. So I literally didn't even take the keys out of the car. I like went in, and it was like explosive diarrhea, and it burned, and it was so bad. It was so bad. And I was like, what the fuck just happened, bro? I was like, I am way too young for this shit to happen. I'm convinced it was the boba tea.
Yeah.
I think maybe whatever milk or something was just not good.
Yeah.
And it just cleaned everything out.
Yeah. And your body said, "Eject."
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. No,
I was like crying. I was like screaming in my car. I'm like, please, no. If there's a God, please. I was like, I love these pants.
I don't want to watch them.
I was like, I'm going to have to shower. I'm going to miss this order. I'm not going to get paid. I'm going to get bad ratings. And then I finally came. I dropped off the order afterwards. I told my mom, I'm like, do not go in there. She's like, are you okay?
Like, why does this boba taste like shit? What the?
The car's all fucking fumed. There's green gas in there. It's seeping into their boba. That's so dude. Funny. So gnarly.
Dude, well, imagine getting diarrhea and not being able to feel your asshole.
Well, that's kind of a blessing, because then it don't burn, right?
Yeah, that's it. But it's weird. Like,
it's just stinky.
That's but
you're
like for me, I stopped like kind of like, I mean, I still eat cheese, like pizza here and there, but I've cut down like on dairy and stuff. Yeah. So now if I like raw milk, I got like 30 seconds.
I have to drink oat milk, and it's weird because like I've never liked milk. I've done whole 2%, 1%, whatever. I've even done like almond milk and stuff. I just have to do oat milk. It's
like,
so much simpler. It's a lot more watery, but I'm not even mad. I only eat it with my cereal, really.
Yeah, I've never really been that much into milk either, but
I'm not lactose though. It's weird.
Yeah,
because I'll do cheese, I'll do yogurt, I'll do ice cream just fine, but it's only milk, and I'll use milk in like bread and stuff or baking. But
well, it's because what it is they like pasteurize the milk to like purify it, and our body doesn't really know how to digest that. So like if you drink pure milk straight from the cow, your body will do a way better job at processing it than when they.
But it probably doesn't taste good. Because they have to put like some sort of sugar, right?
I don't think so. Like on regular milk? No, I think it's straight. They just like kind of like sanitize the milk in a way, but it does something to it where our body's like, what the fuck is it?
It's too pure.
I don't know how to process this shit. So that's what it is. Like
yeah. Weird.
Yeah. You straight got into some shit stories.
I know.
It be like that sometimes.
Bro, I got weird ass stories. Yeah, I don't have any filter really. Like. I'm so open about talking about everything. It's a little much for people sometimes. My boyfriend hates it. I'm like whatever.
Yeah,
he's very much more like
conservative a little bit. Like,
conservative. I mean, he's definitely like liberal in some ways and a lot more laid back. I mean, he's a goddamn tattoo artist for fuck's sake, you know?
Yeah.
But
dope fucking tattoo.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. Yeah, he's like, there's just some things you don't talk about, you don't say. And I'm like, if people don't like it, they can leave. They don't have to be around me. I'm going to say what I want to say. And if you have a problem with it, sorry. LA is very much like that. You can't have an opinion without somebody shitting on you.
Yeah, I kind of feel, I understand both sides because I've like, in like the Latin, Mexican, like we grow up kind of like, you know, you got to be a certain way and you can't this, that. So like, I understand that like some shit, like we don't need to talk about shit, but like, I've also understand like, dude, it's better be open, you know, like to just be truly yourself and like not be fake in a way, you know, because most of the time, like, well, all of us do it sometimes, not, but like you're never 100% yourself, right? You always have to kind of like hide, whether it be because you're in a professional setting, at a work, you're like, so we're all a little fake, you know, in our presentation of ourselves.
I try my hardest not to be, though.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, I'm like, bro, I'm just going to keep it 100.
I don't have the time for it.
But the thing is that everybody wants to say like, oh, yeah, bro, keep it 100. But a lot of people can't handle 100.
Yeah, you
know what? Like, they don't, like, I give an example of like, let's say, like, there's like rich, bougie people that aren't used to like gang members or hood shit. And you have a gang member that's like, what up, you rich motherfucker? Like, that are just, they're like, honey,
it's very much like white chicks.
Yeah, like they don't know. They don't know when people are like, you have to in certain situations be fake, you know.
Yeah.
So when you're like really a genuine 100% you person, people are like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
They fuck with you, and a lot of people are like, what's wrong with this? You know.
Yeah.
But
that's the people I tend to stay away from because I'm like, that's so much energy. Yeah. That's I mean, good for them for being able to keep up appearances, but I am so tired. Like I can't. There's so many other things that are more important to worry about than to worry about people's opinion of you, really. That much. I'm like, and that kind of mindset for me does get me into trouble sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Like I do need to reel it back at times, like because there are like boundaries, like I said, but I don't have the time. I'm sorry, baby. You like me or you don't, and it's okay. That's okay. I've been alone my entire life. Like, I've been bullied. You know, I've been outcasted. Like, I'm good by myself. It's just me and my dog. Me and Buddy. We chilling.
Buddy is her very cool Shar-Pei. He's a Shar-Pei, right?
Yeah.
He got wrinkles for days.
Shar-Pei. He's so stinky, dude.
Really?
I can't have anything nice.
Do you have to like clean his rolls and stuff?
I don't really. Well, no. I mean, the Shar-Peis, they have more oil because their skin. They produce more oil because their skin is pretty sensitive. So the oil makes a protective layering. So anytime I give him a bath, it's like water just falls off him like a duck. It's crazy. But yeah, so that like tends to make them a little more stinky.
Yeah.
And then they slobber because they have all the jowls. So, but I mean, I love it either way. So I had Wilbur before that when he was a puppy, obviously, but Buddy's his own special case. Let me just tell you, this dog, I love him to death, but he can get on my nerves, and he's a lot. He's a lot to handle. And people are like, oh my God, I love him, but they can only stand so much of him. Whereas like me, I'm like, this is my dog. I love him no matter what. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. It's like your child, you know, like if you have a baby's kid's child, like what are you gonna do? That's your kid, you know.
He's stupid, but I love him still. And he is.
But
stupid.
he's my stupid.
He's a dork. Yeah, he's a huge dork.
Yeah, that's funny.
So,
yeah, Buddy's cool.
Yeah, good dog.
Buddy. You said that you hadn't asked me any question. Like, is there anything specific?
I don't know, bro. Or? Like,
cause you can shoot. Like, you know, we open.
I don't know what to ask. No, I'm on the spot.
Damn, put you on the spot.
Let me think about it. You got some fish in here.
I got some fish in here.
Tell me more about that. Because I grew up with animals, like all kinds of animals, right? Mm-hmm. Like I've been around livestock. I've been around like equestrian and small, big, all kinds, reptiles, birds. My grandmother, dude, she lives out here, right? Like Crenshaw, like not too far from here. And she has this house she bought back in whenever, I can't even remember, like the 70s for like nothing. And now it's like $250,000 or more. Yeah. And all my life growing up, she's loved birds because of their colors and how they're free and they can fly, but she cages them. So I'm like, so she's had doves, she's had parrots, cockatoos, parakeets, finches, all kinds. And then she also had turtles. She still has turtles. They're like, they're older than she is.
Her turtles.
Yeah. And she just keeps them in this little bucket, and they're totally fine, totally alive, just chilling in this nasty ass water in a bucket. I've never seen her take them out once or clean their bucket, dude.
Really?
Yeah. I don't even know how they survive. I'm like, I don't know if this counts as animal abuse, but it's my grandma. She's I love my grandmother. She's great. I love her. She's my guardian angel. But she just has all these animals. She's had dogs, cats, all kinds of stuff.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah. My dad had rats growing up. And they would escape their cages because they're fucking smart, dude.
Oh, yeah,
and they're mean, too, if you don't handle them. So
really?
They would escape, and then he would catch them and put them back in the cage, and they would nip him, and he would bleed. And I'm like, I don't want to touch the rats. I love them. Now I don't have a problem with it. But growing up, I was like, oh, and you would find the little rat poops on the windowsill. And I'm like, oh. We've had lizards, all kinds of shit. Wow. Oh, but I was going to say about the fish. I grew up with my dad having fish all the time. Like, I would fall asleep with the fish tank glow light on. And
nice.
Yeah, so.
It's actually kind of weird how so I bought this, like, little tank for one of my nephews for, like, his birthday or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it was small. So I was like, okay, what kind of fish can you have in here? Mm-hmm. So I started doing a little research because I fucking have to look up everything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's kind of interesting. I might get one for myself.
Yeah.
So I got this little tank, and then I was like, I started doing more research, and I was like, dude, this fish needs a bigger tank.
Yeah.
And then I got one tank, and then I started like looking into other random fish, and then I found like the fish that I have now.
Yeah, these are exotic.
Yeah, they're
like, you don't go to PetSmart to get these fools.
Nah, you won't find these.
Yeah.
At PetSmart, and they're even harder to find now because they're having trouble shipping them over.
Yeah. Because
they're from a small lake. Well, actually, it's the second biggest lake in the world.
Oh.
It's called Lake Tanganyika. It's in Africa. And
bougie with your fish. Damn. I just fucking get some goldfish, and I'm like, that's fine. They die, and I'm like, well, it was their swim bladder or something. So there's another one.
Most fish die because you have to actually have a system in the tank, like they call it cycling the tank.
Yeah,
where there's healthy bacteria that helps kill the waste, and it's a whole fucking.
It's a job. People think that taking care of fish, like if you really want them to survive long enough, they're like, oh, it's easy, but no. Yeah. Although my boyfriend has a tank that I had initially, and when I moved, I was like, I'm not taking this, and he has it. It's a lake tank now.
Really?
Like, the water is black, dude. And I've told him, like, you need to clean this. And he's like, they're fine. It's like 2 angelfish, 2 gouramis, algae, pleco, and loach. And it's so nasty.
I have some. There's like coolie loaches in that tank. They look like little snakes. They're like this big. They're cool, but they only come out at night. Yeah, fishes are interesting. It's like I've found myself at times. I mean, my tank, one of the tanks that I have, their scientific name is Neolamprologus multifasciatus. Most people call them
pretty. So beautiful.
To simplify, most people call them shellies or multis, and they're like community fish that kind of like live in shells, and they don't eat the babies. Like they kind of like protect each other. And then it's crazy. Like sometimes I'll literally sit there and like stare at it for like 20 minutes, and it's like relaxing.
Oh, do you get high and watch them? I used to do that. I would fucking smoke, and I would just be like, "Damn, I wish you were you, or I were you." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like literally having a little piece of that lake in my room, you know, in a way.
No cares in the world, just swimming, just doing your thing. You don't care where you're at, as long as you got your homies, you know?
So the thing with the fish is like when they die, you could just flush them motherfuckers. You know, they don't mean shit.
I used to cry when my fish would die. I was like, I put so much work into you and you're going to fucking die on me. I gave you the best of the best and you still wanted to die. Oh, one time I had this fish that I was like, oh, dude, he fucking died. And I like played with him with a net just to make sure. And then I threw him in the toilet. And as I flushed it, he jumped and like went down the drain. And I was like, bro, this fucking Nemo shit right here.
I'm a murderer.
Motherfucker, my cichlid. He was really cool. He was huge. He was like as big as my hand. He was a striped jailbird. I called him jailbird, but it's they call it a convict cichlid.
Convict cichlid, yeah. Those get like what 5-6 inches, I think.
They'll get as big as
they're aggressive. They tend to be aggressive.
They're territorial, but I had them in a freshwater tank with other cichlids and goldfish even and zebras. We actually, when I had the tank that my boyfriend has now, I got 5 zebra fish and they're schooling, and I called them the Backstreet Boys, and 2 of them died. So then I was like, all right, it's no longer the Backstreet Boys. It's some other.
It's 98 degrees or something.
Yeah, shit. Some bullshit.
Like, aren't they like 3? Why the fuck do I know that, bro? Like, damn, they're gonna fucking check my G card for that one.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah. So, but then he actually still has one of the zebrafish.
Really?
Out of all of them, one of them survived and it's still swimming around with the big dogs. And I'm like, damn. So,
now they get. Like if there's enough fish, like it distracts like every individual fish from like targeting one specific fish.
He tends to stay at the top. He likes the top. But I guess a lot of schooling fish stay at the top anyway.
Yeah, there's different. There's like bottom fish, middle tank fish, and then like these guys stay close to their because they're so small. They tend to stay really close to the bottom of the tank, but they're so comfortable that these fools just swim all over the place. You know, like, hey, we ain't gonna get ate here, bro. Like,
yeah, it's their territory. Chilling.
So, but I used to have a dog as well. I had my little Nookie. Aww. She passed away 2 years ago, and that was like my kid dying, you know. So it was like I don't want to experience that shit. The world
saw that on my story. Shit's hard.
Yeah, it's not the business. So it's like they've offered me dogs, and I'm like, nah, I'm not ready, dude. Like it's so much simpler to just.
Yeah, I was so distraught. And I fell in love with the breed, too. And so when Wilbur died, he was only 2 months, dude. And it was crazy because we only had him for 2 months, and he quickly just became part of the family. It was already like we had a routine, you know, like we did everything with him. We took him everywhere. Everybody loved him. He's so sweet. He was badass, dude.
Yeah.
He was complete opposite of Buddy for sure. But yeah, he was like brave. Buddy's gotten braver, but when he was a puppy, he was scared of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really hard to see him go the way that he did because it could have been avoided, which was really annoying. But
yeah, like mine, Nookie, she had like heart failure, so she like sometimes like close to the end, like I would walk her, and then she would like randomly go into seizures because her brain wasn't getting enough oxygen. So
That's
that
hard to
fucking
see.
dude, just seeing her like and peeing, and it was
Yeah.
like the worst. And then like I'm like, bro, you got a Mexican owner. You get sick. Came over, you know. But they literally would have had to like do like a heart
Yeah,
transplant.
and it's
type
expensive.
Shit, you know?
I'm going to school to be a vet assistant, and then
Oh.
later on, I don't know, we'll see. Because now I'm like I love it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if with everything else that I'm doing, if I want to continue on to be a veterinarian. But if I do go down that route, like that's what I'm doing.
I don't know if you've heard this about it. Like, they have a really high like suicide rate because
Really?
because it tends to be people that love animals, but you tend to put down a lot of animals as a vet, so it starts weighing on them. So yeah, it's like
we actually lost our family cat a couple years ago or so, and at the time I was right in the middle or something of my schooling, and so my mom, she was like, we have to put her down because she had like some urinary tract issues pretty consistently throughout her life, and she was the sweetest cat and she was so funny, but she ended up getting cancer, and so my mom was like, well, I'm just gonna wait until like she can't really do anything anymore, and the time came, and so I was like, well, you let me know because I'll come with you because I don't want you to do that alone, because at that point, like our family cat mainly was like her buddy and became her cat. So I went and I took her, and she's like, well, what do you think? Do you think we should go in, and be with her? Or do you think I should just... And I was like, I think you'll regret not going in with her when she's put down.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad she did go, because I think it did give her some closure. Like, okay, that's it. Like, we watched her go. Like, we were there with her, and we have this art. It's good for your own psyche in a way to be like, you're here with familiar people than like just going to some vet and like freaking out. And she didn't like the vet at all.
They dropped her off and killed. That kind of sucked.
So we were there, and they run you through they tell you what's going to happen, but you don't know what's going to happen until you're there with them. And so what they do is they give them it's not a medicine, it's like a
sedative,
fluid or
like
something.
and
it puts them to sleep. But in most cases their eyes won't close, and that's common. Like, even when they go into surgery and they put dogs or cats under to do surgery, like their eyes won't close sometimes, and their tongues come out, so they look dead. They're like, it's really like scary. And so my mom wasn't prepared for that, so I knew that was coming and was totally prepared for that. But she was like, oh, when she saw that, she was like, oh, what's happening? And I was like, Mom, she's sleeping, she's there. And then then they put in the sleep medicine, and they slowly they say, put your hand over their chest or over their ribs, and you'll feel their heart get slower and slower, and slowly they'll fall asleep for sure. And then the vet listens with the stethoscope to their heart to see when like the actual time of death is, and their eyes like dilate. It's crazy.
I experienced that with Nookie. Like, she died like in my arms, basically.
It can be sad. I think that makes sense that a lot of vets would have a high suicide rate, but also there's a high need for, like, especially in that field, like, people make bank in that field. I have my own qualms about certain things, but if you want a good job and you don't want to deal with humans, because I don't want to, they're nastier in my opinion, and I'm like, animals are just animals, they're doing their thing. Humans are fucking,
it's all instinct.
They're mean, they're aggressive, sometimes but it's just nasty too. You're like, I don't want to pick up your shit. So I have a lot of respect for people that are in human medical field. But if you want to make a lot of good money that's just as good in a medical field, go into the veterinary field, because, and there's so many avenues for it too. You don't have to do just cats and dogs. Like, what I want to specialize in is small animal, like exotic small animals. So that would deal with birds, it would deal with rodents, it would deal with rodents like rabbits and mice and things like that, or
guinea pigs and that type.
And like reptiles and things like that. Even fish, you can do surgery on a fish. Did you know that?
Yeah.
But it's got to be real fast.
There's like
Well, you can only. I wouldn't say you can do a whole ass surgery, but it's kind of like these small procedures. And
I have a bumblebee puffer in one of my tanks, and with them, their teeth keep growing,
Oh,
so they
yeah.
need to keep eating snails but this guy's really picky, so he tends to only want to eat worms. So
yeah.
it gets to the point where eventually I'm gonna have to kind of like put him under like anesthesia. There's like I think it's called clove oil. You put a few drops of that, and it kind of like knocks him out. And I'm gonna have to literally clip his teeth down.
They have to do that with rabbits too, because they're like their teeth are like nails.
Yeah, they have to keep.
And so that's why they say like get them chew toys like wood and stuff, because it helps. It's the same thing like when dogs walk on cement and stuff.
For the nails.
So but sometimes they'll get too long and they'll start getting their inside of their mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
Not
animal. I've always been an animal person, like, so it's cool.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I got them all on my arm, so
you got aminos.
yeah.
That's
Work on
cool.
my half sleeve. I got my little fish. Beep.
Is that a koi fish?
No, it's a Blackmore.
You've always been into tattoos too, like.
Actually, no. No. So growing up Christian, I was told like
Your body's a temple.
Well, yeah, that, but also more like my family was just like they associate it with thugs and stuff, right? Like the whole general idea. And I was more into piercings at the time. In fact, I actually pierced my own lip in high school, and then I had a girlfriend come over to my house and she pierced my belly button, but she pierced too much skin, so I like fainted.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then I had two friends that came over that like they just wanted to see like two guys, and so we did it, and I was like, I gotta fucking lay down, because you're supposed to do it when you're laying down, because that could happen.
Yeah, like the blood rushes.
It wasn't even blood. It was just like, because I don't know if you've never been stabbed, like your body is just like, this isn't normal.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, like there, and so your brain's just like, oh, you know. So again, she pierced too much skin, and we were stupid. We were like, oh, it's fine. And then so I had the belly button ring, and my mom found it one time. I lifted my shirt. She was like, what is that? And I was like, nothing. She's like, Brianna, what is that? And I was like, it's a belly button ring. She's like, when did you do that? And I was like, she's like, when and where? And I was like, here. And she's like, how? And I was like, I did it myself. I didn't want to out my friend. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm not going to be able to hang out with her anymore. And so, and then she's like, if you don't take that out right now, I'm going to rip it out. And my mom, like, I love my mom, but sometimes I didn't like fucking believe her. I was like, no, she's just fucking bluffing. Like, I'll fight with her and she'll just let me have it. This bitch came at me. Like, sorry, I called you a bitch, mom, but damn, I was like, holy shit. And so I was like, okay, I'll take it out. And it was kind of like infected because I wasn't taking care of it correctly. So whatever.
You probably didn't even sanitize the area when you pierced
No, we did. But it was just too much skin. That's the problem. If you don't do it correctly, then it just won't sit right. So, yeah. And then that was what I got when I was 18. When I turned 18, I told my mom, can I get a piercing? Only if your aunt takes you. So she did. She took me to Body Electric out here, and we got it done. And then, but yeah, initially, like I wanted facial piercings, like all the thing, like that was like the emo thing to do. Yeah, and then I kind of grew out of it, and I was like, I don't know. And then I instead got like my ears more pierced, because I actually pierced my second holes myself. And then, finally I got like my nose done, and then I was like, I don't know if I want all that facial stuff anymore. And then I was like, well, what if I got a tattoo? So my first tattoo, I turned 19, and I was like, Mom, what would you think if I got a tattoo? And then she was like, why would you want a tattoo? Like, she went through this whole like Q&A thing with me, and I was like, well, it's just like art, you know what I mean? It's like not that big a deal. And I wasn't huge into tattoos. I was like, I thought it looked cool on other people, but I never knew. So my only color tattoo is on my stomach, and that was my first one for my birthday. Is what my aunt bought it for me.
Nice. Which
was really cool. I was like, oh, that's really, I saved up and everything. And she's like, no, don't worry about it. So nice. And she had a tattoo too, so she was like, no big deal. Yeah. So I got that one, and then I was like, I don't really know if I like color. I think I like black and gray more. So then I went and got this one done. This was my second tattoo. It's a Bible verse. Yeah. And I came back to the house and I did this. I got drunk with a friend and it was just he and I, and we were fucking around, and then we went to this like shady ass tattoo parlor, and it was like late at night, and so I got it done. I came home and I didn't really tell my mom. I just kind of was like, da-da-da. She saw it and never really said anything, but she was like, what is it? Da-da-da. And I was like, it's a Bible verse. And she's like, And then I got my third one, my band, and she slowly like just got used to it. She's like, she realized it's not that big a deal. So then after that, I just kind of got more and more, and I just like them. I know they're on me forever. But I'm very like particular about the ones that I have. The only impulse one that I got was my spider web and this piece of shit on my arm, which it sucks because now that I look at it, it's prime real estate for tattoos. Yeah. And the guy that did it didn't know shit and was doing like prison tattoos on me.
I have a few of those.
Yeah, you know, but hey, it's part of you now, you know? Yeah. And unfortunately, mine is so like blacked out and like he drilled me so bad.
Oh, you have like scarring?
It's raised, like scarring. And then like you can't really cover this unless you black it out, which I'm like, I'm totally fine blacking it out, honestly. I mean, it's my spooky cute arm, so black it out, baby. Fuck it.
I don't feel like it's that. I've seen a lot fucking worse.
It's not that bad, but the fact that my boyfriend's a tattoo artist, he never fails to remind me that that's shit, and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's like there's little things that come with tattooing, like like a lot of people want to get these tiny tattoos, but if you do tiny, they end up like blotted and it just turns into a big ink. Yeah, it's like
over time too. That's something you have to consider.
Yeah.
It's like those small details. Everybody's getting those now, and in a few years,
they're gonna look like shit.
Especially if you're out in the sun a lot, and they're gonna look bad.
Yeah.
What's that one? It was a infinity symbol, but it was a quarter. It was a little quarter tattoo, and
it turned into an infinity symbol.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's like I have
what tattoos do you have?
I have a bunch of random shit. I got my first one when I was 14.
Really?
I got a fucking basketball, dude. I just talked about this in my last podcast.
Where is it? Let me see. It's on your shoulder? Oh, you covered it?
I got it covered. Like, you could still kind of see it, though.
Yeah, it's not that bad, though.
You could see the... Yeah, but my cousin did it. It was like a homemade fucking prison tattoo. Yeah. I was like, fuck it, I'll get a basketball.
Those have the best stories, though.
Yeah, but I was like, bro, it's that shit. And then he did like a LA on me that I eventually covered up.
Yeah.
And then money over bitches.
Damn straight.
That's my little... No, there's a specific reason why. Because a lot, like I told you earlier that I've made a lot of like dumb decisions in my life, and a lot of them have involved women.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, I'll do it for a girl.
Yeah.
So this was like, bro, you need to fucking get out of that motherfucking mentality, bro. You gotta,
Oh yeah.
And then I have like life and death, love and hate.
Are you sure that's what that says?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I got it confirmed. I've asked.
Okay, good.
People, like, what does it say?
Are they just telling you that?
No, because it was strangers.
Oh.
Or I've had people see them and like acknowledge that.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. And then I got
cool.
this skull.
That's good. There's a lot of people that get stupid shit.
Yeah, I have random shit too though. I have like, I grew up a really big Tupac fan. Mm-hmm. So I have two of his like iconic tattoos, I guess you could say. I have like the Thug Life on my stomach, but not like him. I have it in Old English.
Yeah.
I have a joke about it that I have like a little beer belly because I can't really work these muscles. So now it just looks like it says Hug Life instead of Thug Life.
I love it. The T's gone, baby.
Yeah, it's all on the side right here. And then I have like only God could judge me on my back.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like I some were impulsive and some were like thought out. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Like,
yeah,
it's on me. Like, you know, like I like it. That's all. Dude, sometimes I even forget, like, because most of them are covered.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget I have tattoos except for this one now.
Yeah.
And that one.
Yeah, I like that one.
My fucking an apprentice chick did this and it's all fucked up, but it's cool.
It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Again, I've seen worse.
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
But like you can see how the lines are already bleeding out and shit.
Yeah, it's a little race. She drilled you a bit, but it happens. Dude, this one hurts so bad.
I mean, no protection from like.
Yeah, and I already have like a high pain tolerance, so like most of my tattoos tickled actually, which is funny. Especially this one, I had to stop. I felt so bad because the tattoo artist, he was like, "You gotta stop laughing," and I was like, "It tickled. I'm sorry," but no, all of them not bad. this one hurt because he just drilled
He was
me
going
so
too
bad.
deep, yeah.
But then this one, because it's on the bone,
It has no
like
protection.
it hurts already. But then he was drilling me, so you can see it's raised.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You can see some of the lines are thicker.
Yeah, so
But it's still cool.
whatever.
That's what a spider web actually looks like.
Yeah, and then
it's
people
not
are like,
perfect.
"Why did you get a spider web on your? You know what that means, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know what it fucking means, but fuck off. Like, maybe you should stay away from me then."
Yeah, I don't know. Nah,
You
it's
don't
like
know my life.
the culture too is really like the tattoo culture is dope. Like
It
well, you
is.
know, I mean, it's Steven and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you know the.
He actually, I mean, yeah, he does tattoos and everything, but I think he's kind of strayed away a little bit more from like tattoo like meanings and cultures and stuff because I don't know, people don't, at least people out here now are the ones that he tattoos don't really come in for like the tattoo culture. It's just more of like they want to make their appearance look different. It's altering your appearance. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and so I don't know. He's kind of like, yeah, I'm a tattoo artist. That's what I do. And people are like, dude, that's sick. Let me get some work from you. But then when they see his prices, they're like, bang. It's like any other service. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah. But it's like, dude.
But if you want
this shit
quality
is on you
work,
forever. Like you might as
yeah.
well pay for the
quality
you know,
work,
the quality
and
one.
he's fun, dude. He's like he talks to his clients. You know, he likes to focus. Definitely, he doesn't want to be talking the entire time. And he like if you're a fidgety person, don't get a tattoo. Just don't be constantly looking at your phone. Don't be fucking like asking or checking it every 2 seconds. Like if you have a good quality artist and they're charging you well, you know, that's what you go there for. Don't be checking it. They're gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Don't go to some rinky-dink place where it's clear. It's like, don't know about that.
There's a lot of those. So there's a lot of like dudes fucking in their house trying to fucking. They call them like scratchers, I think. Like people that aren't in a studio in a professional setting and apprenticed and all that.
Yeah, I've met some people that are like that. And they're like, yo, I do tattoos too. Whenever they talk to Steven.
Yeah. All right, bro.
And no, he's actually like, because I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes they're just doing prison tattoos type stuff, and they never want to do an apprenticeship, or they never really want to go full with it. They're just kind of like, yeah, I do it, and I'm sick. And it's like,
I was into it. Like I've done tattoos. Like I actually the artist that did the cross that covered it, I apprenticed for him. It was up in Washington.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was up in Washington. I was older, so I moved up to Washington 2 times when I was a kid. And then right the same month I turned 18, like I was like, I'm not going to school. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I got a job offer and I just went up to the state of Washington again for like 2 years. And then, I got it done. And then like I showed him some of my work and he was like, well, you know, I'm always looking for an apprentice. If you're, no, you're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
I'm trying to like get comfortable here because I'm in this little corner.
Yeah.
But no, sorry.
Yeah, so like I started apprenticing for him, but one of my cousins, like basically my brother that I was raised with, literally we grew up together on and off. He tried to commit suicide, and I was just like, fuck, I need to come back here, you know. So I just literally fucking packed all my shit.
Gotta hold it down, baby.
Came back down. Yeah, that's a whole nother. You know.
I've lost a friend to suicide. Well, not really suicide, but he was down that path for sure. He was doing a lot of crazy shit. Got himself killed in a bad car wreck.
Really? I feel like
all over some dumb bitch.
Really?
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I know a guy that he broke up. Well, a chick broke up with him. She didn't want to be with him anymore. He tried to kill himself, so he ran into a freeway and got hit by a car, and he ended up paralyzed. Now he's heavy. Like, yeah, dude. And then like she literally like she saw it all happen. She didn't even like stay. She was like, "Fuck this, dude," you know.
Yeah.
I was like, but he's doing really good. He's like a welder.
Oh wow.
He's into like wheelchair BMX. Like.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, I actually his logo. I took a picture of it. It was like he's from Florida, and they I know some nonprofits that do like events for like people in chairs, and one of the things they do is like they do an event at the skate park in Venice. So they bring in a bunch of like wheelchair like skaters.
I've never seen that. That's
dude,
so
they're
fucking sick.
I'll show you some wild shit.
Please, yeah, send me.
So I met him there, and I was there taking pictures, and I got this sick picture of him about to like go down the ramp. So it looks like he's literally like like this on the chair, like literally angled like crazy, and I got this sick picture, and I
Oh,
made it
dude,
a
you gotta send
stencil.
me that one. That's cool.
Yeah, I it's actually on my IG, I think.
Oh,
like,
is it? Okay.
yeah, he saw it, but it's like back in the day, so you gotta
Yeah,
like
you got like
scroll.
1,000 posts. I'm like, what's this bitch doing liking all these photos?
Yeah, so I posted it, tagged him, and then he was like, "Yo, this is sick. You think like you could do something?" I was already painting, and I was like, "Dude, I could probably make this shit a sick ass stencil."
Yeah.
And I did, and that's like his logo. Like that's
Oh,
the
that's
logo he uses for her.
cool.
Yeah, he was a really cool dude, like down to earth, like just cool as fuck, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people that I've met a lot of people in chairs, and dude, they've turned out to be some of like the coolest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I think what it is like when you're in a chair, it's normally because you went through some traumatic ass shit that you almost died of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
You have a better appreciation, you think?
yeah, like it does. I don't know what it is specifically, but it just mentally it just does something to you.
And you
know?
probably don't like want to be limited by the chair. You know what I
Of
mean?
course,
You
like,
want to
yeah.
fucking live your life to the fullest that you can. So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
people, fucking go and do your fucking shit. That's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I see skateboarders all the time. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But you see somebody in a chair doing that shit, I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, I'm like, you
Bruh.
damn, bro. Like, you don't
Like, I
fucking
already
break
lost
your
my
neck doing
fucking
that
legs,
shit, though, bro.
I can't fucking.
Yeah.
What else am I gonna lose?
Yeah, I've met this guy. His name's Aaron Fotheringham.
Okay.
And he toured with Nitro Circus doing like the mega ramp.
Yeah.
Like launching himself off the fucking mega ramp and like doing like
Did he have a
backflips. I think he does just to
Yeah.
stay stuck to the chair.
Yeah.
But like he literally does these fucking flips. Wildness. I'm like, bro.
Now
you're
that's
right,
what
bro.
I need to see.
Yeah, it's like
That's like Humans Are Amazing, you know, like that YouTube channel where they always put compilations together.
yeah. Oh,
I
there
love
used to be a
watching that
show
shit.
actually. Did you ever see that show? I think Spike Lee produced it, where like they're trying to find like people that have kind of like superhuman
I
powers.
think so
and
back
shit.
in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you're talking about that shit. But no,
Oh, they
yeah,
have
our
that,
bodies, we're adaptable, dude. Like where it be like physical things and mental things, because some people have gone through some heavy shit in their life and they're still succeeding and like, you know, living life
Pushing
and
it.
pushing it. For
Pushing
sure.
beat. Y'all are
We're shitty and
fighters.
amazing at the same time, you know, the human race, you know. We're fucking
Yeah.
just savages.
That's what makes life beautiful, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the bad shit, and of course the media is gonna show the bad shit because that's what gets views. It gets
Yeah.
people riled up.
For sure. It's
But you gotta look at the good shit too, man. You gotta get out in nature. You gotta fucking go experience like the unimaginable
yeah,
in order
for
to
sure.
appreciate it and not get stuck in your rut.
Like get out of your comfort zone, like
Mhm.
push yourself for sure.
Try
It's like,
something new.
you ain't living unless you fucking almost dying or fucking, you know,
Mhm.
feel like you're almost dying.
Yeah.
You know, like that's when you're really pushing yourself. When you feel like I don't want to do this because I feel like I'm gonna die. Like getting on stage and shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Very cool.
But yeah,
Well,
well,
I know it
it's-
always ends like that, right? Well, it's been good.
yeah. No, it's been like
I know.
Awesome.
I told you I
you-
can talk and talk and talk. You want to get into some theoretical shit, bitch. I am your girl. Let's get high one of these days.
well, nah, cause you're gonna pass out on me. huh?
No. I
I'm gonna
mean,
just have to.
I won't.
That was Nana. She passed out.
Now that I know how it goes, I won't pass out on you. I'll take a small hit and I'll be okay. But don't give me indica. I'll fucking pass out on you. I'll just be like, huh? Yeah. I'm a whole different person when I'm high,
You'll
and when
have
I'm
to-
drunk, I'm a whole different person.
Really?
Yeah.
You'll
like,
have
if-
to bring the crew with you and shit. Just in case.
Just don't yeah, like I'm so complex, I think, in who I am. And I mean, I'm not like different, but I'm just different energy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if I'm high, I'm like so chill and I'm like thinking. And then when I'm drunk, I'm like, I'm wilding out. Like I say the craziest shit when I'm drunk, and I do the craziest shit when I'm
Really?
drunk. Yeah. And if somebody challenges me, I'm like, are you serious? And they're like, fuck yeah, you won't. And I'm like,
serious.
fucking serious.
FBI is like, get the fuck off, bro. What the fuck? I didn't even press
Seriously.
nothing.
Siri listens to me.
Siri, you tripping us out right now. What the fuck?
You know, there was a thing with Siri that if you asked her where the best spot to hide a dead body was, she would tell you. And then they took it down.
Really?
Yeah.
Today,
or they're
it's
like
at the marina.
they were like, how to hide a body, like Siri, how do you hide a body, or Siri, how can you kill somebody and get away with it? She
Really?
would tell you, and then they had to take it. Apple had to take it down because it was like a liability thing, and it's like Siri's too fucking smart. Kids have the FBI's gonna be on our ass, and fucking Apple's gonna be done.
Siri made me do it. Start blaming Siri and shit. You know,
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past people and shit.
Crazy.
No, but it was dope.
Yeah.
You know, having
Thanks for
shooting with
having
you,
me.
having a conversation with you.
Sorry, I feel like I didn't look at the cameras and engage enough. I'm very like,
no, it's cool. No, like that's what I tell people overall. Just like we just here chopping it up. Like
I engaged with who I'm with. I'm very present usually.
Yeah.
If I'm not, it's because I'm in my head too much or something, or I'm
drunk,
thinking about
or
something. Oh, dude. So that's one of the things too. And we'll end it after this, but yeah, like I used to, when I was running around at the meets, I was usually like really drunk, or I'm just like, I want to do everything, you know, and I've calmed down a lot, but yeah, I'm definitely like that. I get very like,
as long as
I'll go on tangents. And
as long as it's not like wild where people have to take care of you type of shit. Like,
no, usually not.
Then you're good. Yeah.
I think I hold my liquor pretty well, and I'm always with my boyfriend too, and so I'm always like concerned about him, and then I'm again, it goes back to like the planning shit, you know, like I gotta be responsible, and
yeah.
I used to get like bad like people, and I still wouldn't let people take care of me. That's the thing though. I would like go and like fucking wake up in a bathtub and like somebody's like on the toilet like throwing up, half asleep, like all right, I gotta go home now. My neck's all like, see you guys later, sick party. I wake up the next day, wow, let's go. No, I actually didn't have a lot of hangovers.
Really? You don't get?
Well, now I do, and it's usually it's whenever I pass the threshold. Like, I'm a big tequila drinker. It's just my shit. I don't like vodka at all. I don't really like dark liquor either. Yeah, I do like Fireball though. Everybody hates Fireball, and I'm down for Fireball, dude.
That's my shit,
bro. Fuck yeah,
because you just need like one or two shots,
and you're like, okay, let's get it.
The only thing with it is that if you get fucked up with it, you'll fucking regret that shit the next time. So you gotta like limit it when it comes to Fireball.
But yeah, like with my tequila, if I go past that like one too many, that's when I get the hangover, and I'm like,
well, that just means you're not drinking enough water. When you're
I don't drink enough water. Don't let this water bottle fool you. I don't drink enough water. Yeah,
that's like the counterbalance that you have to do. Like that's what I do now. Like I'll drink if I'm drinking, then I'll chill and then drink half a cup of water maybe, and then
I try now.
Yeah, it's harder once you're all fucked up.
Especially if I'm like dancing a lot. I'm like, I just want to keep dancing, and then I'm like, I need some water. I gotta go.
You're like, all right. It's about that time.
Yeah.
No, well. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, of course. Any fucking time. We'll always fucking have something to talk about. Yeah. I guarantee it. And if you ever want to have me on with somebody else too, we'll really get it going.
Yeah.
Couple drinks.
I think that's coming next. Like I was telling you a little bit, like we're gonna test out a little group shoot and definitely try. Like that's the ultimate goal, is finding a crew of people that I can count on consistently and just putting out a consistent show.
Yeah, just bring your gear. I've got my own gear too. Like we'll get mics on everybody, sit down in a super casual environment and just shoot the shit. I think those are the most entertaining podcasts sometimes when you get everybody going, and
at least like the more like you could add more like funny and like comedic elements, you know, like this is good when you're actually trying to like learn stuff about someone, because if you have too many people, like it someone will jump in and throw off your conversation. So there's
so much fun to me though, because I'm like, okay, who's gonna say what? No, you never know what's gonna come out of somebody's mouth, and that's so much fun. It catches you off guard, and you're like, the fuck?
I thought I knew you, bro. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
we'll make it happen.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Pacing in my studio, just coming up with dapper bars to spit in crucial situations when I play the rapper's part. Heard I got a denim heart and lyricism in my jeans. Cut a track down, leave it bald head like Mr. Clean. Spit it mean, a record fiend. I school you niggas, call me Dean. I'm always speechless, never seen. Stay on the chase for minty green. His logo, how these niggas say they ballin', but they broke though.